Lords and ladies, welcome to Beyond the Source Wall, issue 8. What is it? Well, he's like, what is it? Let me pull it up. Oh, he's Rorschach. He's like, what's he say? Rorschach, November 1st, 1985.
Rorschach's journal.
So, let's see. Let's go around the room. Crave, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. My kid decided to try some icy hot today.
Oh, nice. Did he enjoy, or did it go down poorly?
He's not complaining right now. So,
Nice.
portion control was like, you can overdose on that stuff. You'd have to eat a lot of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's probably just tingly on the tongue, if anything.
Yeah. I heard him making noise from back on the other side of the house, and I go, "What are you doing?" He just comes running out. Nothing. It's all good.
Yeah.
Did you try some of this? No. I'm just your breath, man.
Yikes. Sean, how you doing? You can let if you go into the details if you like to. Otherwise, you can leave it all out, and that's up to you.
I had a very messy Halloween night that involved a lot of alcohol and me getting my nose pierced.
Great success.
Shit faced. So yeah,
nice.
But the way that you got smashed drunk, or messy as in you vomited, or messy as in you had beer shits.
Just very drunk. No fluids left me. Nothing.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's not great success.
And any fluids that tried to leave you, you fucking swallowed them back down.
Oh yeah, I did vomit a little bit while having my nose pierced, and I swallowed it.
There you go.
Because I'm classy like that.
And you went with the Tupac, which is very cool. The Tupac, the diamond, they're good.
My friends chose it for me. I
Very
was
dope.
not in a state to choose it.
Just get a fat diamond. I'm telling you, you'd be dope.
Yeah.
Ty, how you doing?
No, I didn't really get to do much on Halloween, but I ended up doing a Tom Holland Halloween movie marathon. Original Tom Holland, the director of Child's Play and Fright Night, which was fun.
An OG Tom Holland?
There is an OG Tom Holland.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the guy who wrote it and directed Child's Play and Fright Night. Yeah.
When you said you're having a Tom Holland marathon, I was like, has he already done that many movies?
Yeah, right.
Watch, you've got the Spider-Man, you've got Avengers. I don't know what else he's done.
He's done that Netflix one.
I need to watch that. I heard it was good.
What was it? The Devil All the Time?
Something like that.
I saw that. Dude, that's a part of the avant-garde horror movies that I've been So I've been trying to watch horror movies like Hereditary. It's kind of like weird, It's like it's not your typical like horror movie, and this was kind of like that. It's not like just kind of trippy, Like it was good though. It was good.
I need to watch that because I heard good things.
The acting was good. It's just the story. I'm always like, it was actually better than most of them with the ending. It wrapped up pretty nicely, which was cool. So anyway, it's definitely it's worth a watch. Tabs, how you doing?
All right, just hanging.
Yeah, chilling.
Hanging loose, bro.
Did you say you went to sleep real early yesterday?
I fell asleep at like 6 o'clock on the couch and didn't wake up till 11.
Dude,
then I just moved to bed.
Good for you, man. I was out at I think it was 9. I was beat, man.
I wake up at 4, so
Dude,
my body was just like, "You're going to bed now," because I was watching streams and stuff on my TV.
No,
I was just laying down and I just fell asleep.
I couldn't do the 4 o'clock. I couldn't do it. That's crazy. Is it because you have a
I
long
wish I could
commute,
just fall
or is it
asleep.
just because that's the routine?
It's just part of the routine now.
Nice.
Sleeping in is like 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh shit. But what's going to bed late for you then?
Like 10.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, because I could imagine that's like my 1 o'clock in the morning. You're 10. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Cool beans. So everybody's good. All right. We were gonna do a bonus, but we scrapped it because I don't really want to do movie reviews. But who knows? We'll figure that all out in the future. Moving forward and shit. But for now, we have how many comics on the agenda? How many do we have, Sean?
Lots. I don't know.
12. There's 12. You know what?
12.
I counted earlier. Yeah, there's 12.
Not too many.
I think the first one is, I believe, 3 Jokers, correct?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I pulled it up. Nice.
Just
And we're
before we
not
start,
doing-
has anyone here watched Mandalorian yet?
No.
I've never seen any Mandalorian.
No one's seen it. Ah,
Any Mandalorian.
I'm disappointed in you all.
Well, I'm
Sean, I love
disappointed in
you,
I'm
but you're gonna
disappointed
hate
in
me.
Disney. So they get 3 seasons out, and then I'll start watching. That's what they get nowadays.
They put
Yeah,
out more than
yeah.
they put out more than The Mandalorian and all their kids' movies, and then they'll get me.
Yeah. Did they put Lizzie McGuire on yet?
Yes.
I don't know.
Asking the real questions.
Yep. All right. That's a start. Kim Possible maybe.
They have the live action movie on there.
The movie's called
Alright.
Live Action.
No, there's like a live action Kim Possible, like the dude from the Goldbergs, the youngest brother. He plays
he's in-
Ron.
Yeah. Well, who plays the girl though?
I don't remember her name. I haven't seen her in anything
I
else.
remember the
I haven't
chick.
watched the movie.
The chick
I
who
just saw
voiced
the poster for it.
the girl in the cartoon. Wasn't she in Even Stevens or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like. Yeah, those were the days, man. Those were the days. All right. Cool beans.
Oh Jesus, this looks terrible.
What is it?
The
What is
live
it?
action movie.
Oh no, great. Have you
'Cause it
seen
probably
it?
is.
Have you seen it? Can you attest it?
No, I just saw the poster pop up, and I was like, I know who that guy is.
Damn. He made it into a Kim Possible live action. That's like, that's how you know. That's when you know.
That's something that you pitch at the end of a drinking binge on a Friday night after work at like
Was it-
1 a.m. when they're tossing your ass out for last call. And you say, you know what? I have this really awesome idea. No, you don't.
Was it a Dan Schneider production, Sean? When you looked it up, do you
Dan
know who the
Schneider.
director was? Yeah, I'm just you know.
Um,
You
I'm
never
just
know
on
with that
IMDb,
guy.
it
You
doesn't
never know
say.
with that guy. I've heard things. All right. Well, 3 Jokers. Yeah, you want to go into it? I mean, it's kind of anticlimactic
Go.
at this point. I feel like, but it's 3 3 Jokers. Hell yeah, can rock on. Give it. Take us away.
Go!
Take us away, Sean.
Let's do the ratings
Okay,
right
so-
now.
Huh?
Let's do the ratings right now.
So this rhyme story we've had the Joker's trying to create a new Joker. And yeah, so one of the Jokers has died so far, the clown. It was the clown, wasn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
And then Jason Todd got captured by the Jokers and tortured again because that's all it's good for in the Bat family. And yeah, then leading into this issue, it deals with the Jokers kidnapping Joe Chill, who killed the Waynes, and they want to transform him into the new Joker. Because what better person to be the Joker than the person who created the Batman? And
So the fact that Joe was dying it doesn't matter, right? Because he would just get the toxin that would just cure him and give right?
in theory, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Revitalized him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Joe Chill was in prison. He's dying of cancer when the Joker's kidnapped him. And when Batman's investigating the cell, he finds letters that Joe Chill's written to Bruce Wayne apologizing for his parents' deaths.
Well, with this, I think I could sum it up shortly for me as I think I'm okay with the ending. I really don't care for how we got there though at all. It wasn't very like how we got to that stuff. I was just like
the criminal's the one who wants to create the new Joker. He wants to pass the torch to the next figure.
Seemed like he was dying. He's getting old.
Yeah, he's definitely the oldest. Like,
glory.
it hurts for him to smile, and yeah, so he's the one who's keen on creating a new Joker. But the comedian ends up killing him because the comedian's got other plans. He doesn't want there to be 3 Jokers.
Because
he doesn't want
this
Joe
was
Chill
a
to be a new
Killing
Joker.
Joke Part 2 story, a part of a new Killing Joke universe that has now been started. That's my theory. And that there will be now a Killing Joke universe with that's where I'm going. I don't know. It kind of seems pointless. Like it's cool, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, the ending is so the comedian kills the criminal and basically says he wants to be the most important person in Batman's life. Like, he forgave Joe Chill for killing his parents, so the only person he's angry at now is Joker. He's the most important person to Batman now. He defines Batman.
Right.
now that Batman's no longer driven by his parents' murderer.
Right.
Which is kind of cool, like as an idea to say,
Yeah.
that there's only so much trauma that should be on the hyper focus of Batman, and giving him that catharsis allows him to hyper focus on all of the bad things that Joker has done to Batgirl, to Jason Todd, to just anybody in the family. I mean, even in the Snyder run, he cut off Alfred's hand. So I get it. It's a hyper obsession with Batman to say, hey, I want to be the object of your disaffection. But I agree that it does seem like this whole story could have never existed and nothing really would have changed.
My problem with this story is the 3 Jokers are entirely redundant in it. You could have told this story with one Joker, and done the Joe Chill stuff in this is great. I think I really enjoyed what I did with Joe Chill and having Batman forgive him. And
Yeah, I think all that was good. That's all good stuff. That's what I'm, like all the
Yeah.
means to the ends. It's just the way we like kind of found ourselves there. I don't know. It was still
I liked
good.
how all the different Jokers played off of each other. Very different motives for each of them, ways they act, how they carry out things.
Yeah, it did some interesting stuff, but like at the end of the day, I just feel like this was supposed to be the next big Joker story after Killing Joke, and it just kind of happened.
Do you-
Like it
do
was
you-
What do you guys
4
think?
years ago. It's taken this long to get here, and it's just sort of
Yeah. 4 years later, and now we get this. What do you
Yeah.
guys? Do you guys want to talk about the ending?
Yeah,
Specifically
go
last-
for it for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
let's
so
talk
spoiler
about-
alert,
yeah.
really quick. Let's just say spoiler alert if you haven't read it yet. Like right now, like don't watch or listen.
I've already said what happens.
No,
Like,
at the very
yeah.
end.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So like this is what I'm confused about is I feel like what Jeff Johns is trying to set a precedent or a standard of Joker is an idea instead of just an individual person, which I dig. And I feel like he's insinuating that's what leads up to the discovery of like Batman's always known who the Joker is. Always within the first week of
I
meeting
hate that.
him. Do you?
I
Why?
hated that. Because Batman shouldn't know who Joker is.
He doesn't really
I think it's like
He even says it. He's like, not to sound like people think I do, but I'm Batman. I knew his name 1 week after we met. And even Alfred's shocked, and I'm like, Bruce would tell Alfred.
it's
I
too
imagine.
basic. I kind of like it. I
at the beginning of this issue, the stuff in the last issue where he's looking through all the files on each of these guys, like he's trying to figure out missing clowns, missing comedians, missing criminals. Like he already knows the answers to why is he putting this stuff out, pretending not to know who it is.
I will say, when I got to the second page where it has all the different attempted Jokers, where you got all the pictures with the numbers on them and it's titled them, I thought, is it going to be like there's more Jokers? Like, is there like 30 or 40 Jokers? And I was kind of interested more by that, and then it's like, no, they're just all failed ones. Because some of the pictures look like they're taken from stories.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just different people from like the first and second issue.
Yeah, it's all the ones who were in the swimming pool, wasn't it? But it's
Some of those guys,
like just different people.
First couple of crimes in the first issue.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the big thing is the discovery is like the ultimate spoiler is that he has a kid, and that do you remember in the second issue when the comedian is sitting down and pretending to have lunch or dinner with his family, and he's like terrorizing them? That was interesting because I feel like that was like a little snippet of, well, what if he just became the Joker and still had his family? I mean, the revelation that his wife actually didn't die from an accident and that was a cover up to just get her away from him in the first place, moved away, changed her name, had the kid, now she lives in seclusion, and that's the reason why Batman doesn't reveal Joker's name, is interesting because that sets up possibility for a story later. And if there is going to be a story later about that, I'm going to read it, of course, but it still feels like if I had to wait 4 years just for that last part, That seems kind of weird.
And it also retcons what happened in Dark Soul a little bit, where Batman asks what the Joker's real name is.
Isn't this in different continuity?
It's very murky where like what this is. Jeff Johns says it's in continuity.
Totally right.
Jason
Why did he even
says,
do that?
Yeah.
Why would you even ask that if he's like, I always knew? What is that?
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff Johns says this is in continuity, and then Jason Fabok said it isn't, and then someone else has said
the
it
Killing
is, but it
Joke
isn't.
continuity. That's what it's in.
Yeah. Like this is Blackmail. This isn't like mainline.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, but when like the writer of it's coming out saying this is continuity,
even if there's a story that takes place after this, I feel like with the whole like Joker trying to find the wife and the kid because he finds out.
I hope that story never happens.
But it would all be Killing Joke continuity. I'm saying I don't think it would be like in universe continuity. It would be part of like this weird line of like this story. I don't know. I wanted to point out real quick. I just went through Watchmen. He says Rorschach November 1st, 1985. Just pointing out. He doesn't say Rorschach's journal. Like on the last one. I just wanted to, because I fucked up the beginning, so I thought I'd try to make it right.
You had to go back.
So anyway,
on one of the last pages, like third to last page, where Jason's left a note for Barbara. And the bottom over there, that he leaves a note for Barbara on her apartment door, and it falls off, and that gets cleaned up by a janitor. And he's in purple. He's got the thing, sunshine cleaner.
The same thing. I thought it's Joker.
Yeah,
he is.
It hasn't been that much. It hasn't been that long since. It can't be like, oh, this is like this has to be like a week later at longest. So it's not like he's already broken out a week later. This has to be like...
Well, it is Arkham Asylum. It's got a revolving door for a reason. I saw someone on Reddit say, the janitor at the end was Grant Morrison keeping the timeline pure of Jason Bab's relationship.
Damn. Well, I think there was...
I hated Barbara in this.
I don't think there was a lot...
Really?
If I said this...
She didn't serve the story at all. She didn't have a plot. She didn't have anything to do.
More.
She was there to be Jason's
Was the writer's heart fully in it? Because it doesn't seem as big as it was meant to be. And I feel like it could have been told with smaller elements, like no 3 Jokers and just the comedian Joker, the Killing Joke universe Joker. And it could have just moved along with that. And it probably might have been better because it wouldn't have had this whole buildup of like 3, whoa, like I don't know.
Yeah, so. It was set up in Darkseid War and New 52 Justice League, and then I assume it was supposed to be explored there before Rebirth happened and sort of scrapped that. But yeah,
I mean, we've also got the Ray Fisher thing going on with Jeff Johns and him, and I would imagine. But do you think that him.
You don't think his story was written prior to like June? You think it was?
I mean, maybe even if it was, but I mean, look how long Shazam took to come out. I mean,
it's one thing. This has been written for a while, delays. But the art was so slow.
Okay, the art was old.
Okay, they say that,
art was really
how many
good.
times has he put out something and then Gary Frank is working with him? You got Doomsday Clock, then this, then Shazam, and they all were late, all delayed, all the time. I mean, the common denominator is Jeff Johns.
If there was okay. Rate and review, everybody. You can do your rate and reviews on this one. What do you think? You can either do the issue or the whole thing as a whole. I don't care, whatever you want. But what do you think of this? Well, okay. I thought it was like a lot of fluff. I give it a 3. I really like, but the art was like so fun. The art's fucking tight.
The art is so good.
The end. I kind of actually dug the end. I would actually continue reading a Killing Joke universe story. So if there was another one, and since I'm not gonna give it a fucking, well, I did give it a 3 out of 5. But anyway, I would actually continue.
I'm not doing ratings anyway. I'll go first. 3 out of 5.
I'll fucking give it something. But like. I would keep reading this universe, even though I didn't really like it that much. I felt like it could have been. I like the ending. The way we got there is kind of weird. That's how I feel about it. So
Alan Moore's turning in his grave right now about Jeff Johns writing a sequel to Watchmen and Killing Joke.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power to give somebody. You know.
For the record, Alan Moore isn't dead. I just assume
Yeah,
he's sleeping in an open grave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
She's
he
great.
Or
basically
he's got
is a
a
grand
coffin
wizard.
in his basement or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it stuck so hard, the landing. I think it was just,
No.
cool. I like that the Killing Joke, the comedian survived. He was the one I wanted anyway, so he's crazy.
Yeah.
So
He,
and that's
he
why
is
he
the
survived.
Joker. He's the proper one.
For sure. So cool. All
I'd
right.
just like to say before I rate it, the page where Joe Chill dies and it's got Bruce holding his hand, that was emotional for me.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I
like that
teared
stuff.
up a little. Seeing Bruce forgive Joe Chill is
Yeah,
a
that's
big
cool
deal.
stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, he had a lot of good elements like that. But
I gave it a 3.
Oh, oof. No, sorry.
And
Yeah,
Okay.
I
that-
gave it
If
a
you
that-
could
three.
that
just,
main-
put everything that, led up to the theater, out of your mind. If you just had that theater scene, how would you feel about the comic?
3. I think it's a lot of talk.
Three?
I still feel like it didn't have anything to say.
It's amazing that something. It's amazing that something can have so many good elements to it and still just kind of be like, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
It
I
doesn't.
agree.
It doesn't.
I really love that theater scene. That really made me feel something there. Had real chills going on during that fight.
Wait, I gotta go back to it.
I agree. I agree. I think it's about a 3 out of 5. So here's the thing. I agree with what you're saying about, so many good things going on with it. But I feel like that's the problem, right? Is like, I think you're kind of right. I feel like Barbara's role in this pretty much was just to be the grumpy woman who like had a kind of a relationship with Jason, and like that's it. But even then,
in 3
Jason
issues,
didn't really have much purpose to this either.
3 issues, it was
Yeah.
it was contrived, lost,
Yeah,
contrived.
Jeff Johns
lost,
can't
whatever.
write women.
It's I don't know. I still think the art's actually like damn fucking good. Like
Yeah, Jason
it's
Fabok's great.
really good art. So I liked all that
And
was.
that Jeff Johns wrote a woman that I liked. I can't think of anything.
You guys are ruining this comic for me.
Say it again.
Sorry.
I said you guys are ruining this comic for me.
No,
I really
but
liked it.
no, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like
There's just
I
so
just
much catharsis in this. In these 3 issues, there's just a ton of catharsis.
there is a
Yeah.
lot. There is a lot of points, but I just think that like take away the other 2 Jokers.
Yeah,
'Cause I
no,
just-
we're not wrong. I mean, you guys are
Yeah.
making very valid points.
That and then I really actually like how we end up. Like I said, I would actually continue this story. Whoever picks it up,
Yeah.
if there's a writer out there who picks it up, I'm reading it. Like I'm gonna, I want to see. I could see that there's like a fucking 12-issue run of like they keep having to move her because the Joker keeps finding the locations and shit, and like something real like disturbing. I'd be like,
This-
whoa, that's crazy.
This also kind of ruined the ending of Killing Joke, where he's like, if I have a origin, I like it to be multiple choice, whatever he said.
Okay.
But it kind of was multiple choice though because there were 3. There was a couple of them.
Yeah, but the one in
Well, that
Killing
was the
Joke
joke.
is the comedian.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that
So,
was kind of multiple.
Really quick, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kevin Smith's podcast.
I know the
he
man,
had-
not the podcast.
So he had Morrison on, and Morrison said in a very, his very beautiful Scottish brogue that it's one of the best stories ever written, but it's also the one that nobody thinks about with the ending, where Batman fucking kills the Joker. And if you look at it, his implication is that when right here the laughing stops, he's reached up, strangled him, he's dead, and the sirens are coming. Cue music. And that was an interesting interpretation.
Yeah,
of
because
it,
they also
but
the last like 4 panels also tie into the joke they were laughing about how he turned the light beam off halfway across. Because in the last panel, the light's gone out.
Yep.
And it's like Batman's decided to stop helping the Joker, kind of thing.
I'd like to point
Yeah,
out that
and
I
they decided
never
to make
got
the same
a
continuity.
single card. I was never given a single
No.
card.
No,
I got
Son of
2.
a bitch.
you're a dick.
I had to request them, but I had to like actually go in.
Maybe
and
I
ask.
could buy them on eBay though. I just kind of want.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do that. Don't
Why
do
are
it
they-
because they're going to be selling them for like a ridiculous price. They are. It's a card.
$80. Yeah,
A little
true
piece of
that.
paper.
It's kind of bushwhacked. Do you think that my I'm not
£1.50 in the UK. They're not. That's all right.
What? How much?
£1.50. So
Okay, that's
$2, less than $2.
Yeah, 2 billies. I got 2 billies. I got 2 skinny boys.
2 billions.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay,
so
well, that's ridiculous. I just found a stack of 25 for $15.
okay, and then we'll divvy it up amongst the people. Nice. I can't believe that.
Freedom.
I didn't get any. I think
From the freeway.
I think DC is just based on my local comic shop is playing games, meaning just like not being very fluid with the train.
Did you just make a pun because of the cards, my guy?
Oh,
My
I didn't
God.
even think. I wish I was that smart. Damn. Fuck. That could have been fucking dope. No. I just walked into it nicely.
He's got dad jokes.
I walked out of it terribly though. But yeah, I don't know. They're just not making it a fluid transfer of distributors or whatever. So it's kind of getting hard.
Yeah.
Like, because he
Just
told
Are
me,
you with us?
huh?
Tabs, are you with us? Did you read?
I did. I was just kind of letting Sean and everybody go off.
What did you think? What did
Letting
you
us
think about
rage.
I liked it. I wasn't super with the monologue at the end. It felt kind of very Killing Joke, as I mentioned it in our chat before. Like they were just, it was a very cyclical thing where there were changes, but ultimately the same kind of outcome happened. That there was, well, obviously not a joke this time. It was something more, but it just kind of felt like it ended almost in a very similar tone. And then with, I'm pretty sure it's the Joker that swept the note away because he said that he knew who they all were and he can get to them at any time. So that was almost like him subtly screwing up Barbara and Jason's relationship when he's trying to actually be honest and open for once, and now he doesn't have that chance. I felt Barbara was the most down to earth and logical one during this whole event. It was okay. It just the ending, like there was pros and cons to it.
I don't think I minded Barbara all that much. It's funny what you try to accomplish in 3 issues,
Well, especially with so many pages per book. That's the thing.
Because it's 50 pages.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
So, okay, really quick, I gotta say this. I was not excited for the fabric designs that were based around the 1989 Batman designs, but I loved these.
This is tight. This is real good.
Yeah.
It really puts me back. From the very first page of him crashing into the gravestones and shit, I was immediately felt like I was in the Killing Joke. Like that's like I was just like, whoa, I'm here. So
there was
just
so
like to
much
mention
storytelling that was very strong, and I just
a
feel
lot
like
of strong.
that was the
Just
thing that made this good, but the actual story itself wasn't nearly as strong.
Weird, yeah. This is a weird case, I would say. This book.
Yes.
I don't know if hype. I have to say, I didn't wait 4 years for this. I had no fucking clue, and I still feel this way about it. I still feel like I don't overhype. I think just the idea of like 3 Jokers is a lot of hype in itself. Like the story itself kind of breathes a lot of. You're like, oh, what the fuck? This guy's writing this crazy story. So I think it just by the end of it, I'm kind of like I said, I would keep reading. I would keep reading. It's decent.
I would also like to point out I was able to get all 3 cards from my shop. Just to rub salt in the wound.
Good for you, bud.
Dirty
Way
rat.
salt in the wound, bud. Appreciate
Just
it.
asked. He still has stacks of the first one, as far as I know, tucked away.
Son of a b.
He got a bunch.
That's
He
gonna
got a
be
bunch of
used
packs.
as when the world ends. That's gonna be currency. Joker cards.
Just gonna flick them at people like a weapon, like the card throwers.
Yeah, currency and a weapon.
Sean,
you
were about to say something.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, when Joker was like, oh, I know all your names, but if I tell the world, you'll stop. I saw someone on Reddit point out that at the end, Batman knows who Joker is, but is he not telling the world because he doesn't want Joker to stop either?
Right. I think that's definitely part of it heavily. Like dude, that's why Batman he is totally as stubborn as a mule, dude. He is stubborn as a mule, and
Well,
I
let
think
me
that's
propose
part of his
something
nature.
on the other side of that coin. What if Batman feels that if he puts Joker's identity out there, then he thinks that Joker is going to be backed into a corner where at that point he has nothing to lose, and he just goes all out at that point.
True.
There's that.
Well, that's you
His
trying,
wife
but
doesn't-
then
I
I would
mean-
argue
doesn't
that you're
know that
trying
he's
to
the
just
Joker.
white knight Batman again and make him all.
Well, I'm just saying, what if that is one of the thought
possible.
processes behind it?
It's true.
Maybe the Joker's wife doesn't know that he's the Joker. Like they're just still in hiding, not knowing whatever happened to him. So he's trying to, keep her from finding out about that too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't really have an issue with the family still. I'm just wondering, like, if it comes down the road, what does that look like? Does that mean that there's going to be forever Jokers? I mean, are they going to be continuously pushing each other to or pushing to make new ones? Does that mean that that's going to be something that happens in the Batman Beyond universe, or does every member of the Bat family get a version of the Joker? I mean, if
Maybe
if the criminal was the first Joker for Batman, and Jason Todd's Joker was the clown, and then Barbara's was the comedian, like, is that what they're trying to say? That each one has their own Jokers? Like, what's this? I don't know.
Ooh. Oh.
Wait, which one did you say was Barbara? Sorry, the clown.
Comedian.
No, hers was the
No.
comedian.
And Jason's was a clown.
Clown boy.
Not the clown.
But they established which one did which, didn't they? Give me a second.
Yeah, didn't Jason kill his own guy or
His
not?
abuser.
Did he
Just let me
not?
get the-
Did he not slayeth his own abuser?
no.
Are we
So it
speaking
wasn't
in
so much-
old English now?
Yeah.
That
It wasn't so much
Latin.
Yeah, but when the criminal was about to,
Oh yeah, it was
throw
the
the
clown.
clown to blow himself, there was, he gets shot instead, but you still see the and there's that, that famous, pole that has the flag that comes out and says boom. So it seems like he didn't actually have the, actual dynamite on his chest the whole time. So that seems like, kind of a joke right there. You know how sometimes they have the gun that, has the flag that comes out and just says bang or boom or something. He did a similar gag with the dynamite.
So who?
Yeah, it was the clown that killed. You're right.
Yeah. You going back? You got it. You retrace your steps there, buddy.
I love that design. It just thought,
I do like. I even like the way the Bruce Wayne was drawn. Like the
Yes.
Bruce Wayne. I like the way the Alfred was drawn.
No, there was so much about this that was really well drawn. I mean, Jason Fabok is the reason why this book is good, why the series is good.
Yeah.
Snow looks good. All that shit.
He channeled Ryan Boland's art perfectly. I think he paid homage enough
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
while keeping it in his own style still.
Who did Watchmen's art or the Doomsday
Dave
Clock?
Gibbons.
No, the Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock was Gary Frank.
I don't think he was trying to, but I'm just saying it would have been nice if he tried to really recreate Gibbons hard, like real hard. Like the color. Oh, maybe I should blame the colorist for that. The colors were a little too. It's like, or maybe that's because
It's the same colorist in this book.
Huh?
This book has the same colorist.
Oh, okay, cool, but not the same. Yeah, but same colorist as the Doomsday Clock. You're saying?
Yeah. Brad Anderson.
Cool. Yeah, he
There's
definitely
a lot
has.
of art
He's very
possible
vibrant
in there because you the Watchmen art style, but you've got all the different DC characters' art styles as well from different artists.
That from everything else. Yeah, crazy. I do think Gibbons' work is timeless, though. Just saying. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I would continue if they wanted to continue. That's where I'm at with this. What?
I am just saying that if this becomes a thing, if this becomes a thing that is just like, this is going to be one separate thing, doesn't have to be continuity, that's fine. If they want to use elements of it, I'm fine with it. I'm just saying I don't really want this to be canon, this whole thing.
I wonder which Alan Moore story Jeff Johns is going to defile next.
is V for Vendetta Vertigo? Or was that?
Yes.
So
I think it was
V.
DC, wasn't it? Or was it Vertigo?
Okay. Either way.
And it was
Either
DC.
way.
Vertigo wasn't around at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you
Did
go.
he just be Swamp Thing, or was that Grant Morrison?
Ooh.
No, that
if
was
he
Alan Moore.
tried he would be cool. Let him try Swamp Thing. I'd still let him try it. Hey, listen, I'm all down. I'm down for anybody to give it a shot. Just don't be surprised if it's kind of like people come up and say, like, at the end of the day, like, even though you're trying to do your own thing, but you're still expanding somebody else's work, so you got to remember that, like, fans cling on to that.
I just really want Jeff Johns to go back to writing fun comics.
Yeah.
Like, Green Lantern was great. I read a little bit of his Flash, and it was really good. And
We need to get him to do Martian Manhunter. Get Jeff Johns, do John Johns.
Oh, you know what I haven't read yet? I haven't read his Hawkman. I need to read his Hawkman. I'm putting that on my list right now.
All right. The next one was Department of Truth.
Craven and Tabs, what are you giving it out of 5?
4.
That's high.
Talk me lower.
I'm just going to put 3 down for you. Tabs, what are you rating it?
It was okay. Didn't blow me away. 3, middle of the
3.
road.
Yeah.
Nice.
Balance of pros and cons. Didn't hate it. Didn't absolutely love it.
Yeah. Craven, are you sure you don't want to lower it out of peer pressure? We've all done 3s except you.
No, let the man enjoy his comic.
Yeah, his comic.
Yeah, let the man enjoy his comic.
He's allowed to be wrong.
It was all. I liked it.
I'm joking. Department of Truth number 2, written by James Tynion IV and art by Marston Simmons.
I think this one is a recap. If Crave would like to give it his best go.
My wrong summary.
And here's the thing, I just want to say too, everybody's recap is according to you recap it how you please. You go into whatever types of details you want or however you want to go about it. Sometimes the comic, not saying for this one, but sometimes the comic isn't really worth this. Like some days it's just a comic, and it was like, all right, I moved the story, But go ahead, Crave. Do your thing.
Previously, in the one issue that we've read before this, we're introduced to the Department of Truth. We got kind of our induction into the Department of Truth by witnessing a conspiracy theory being, manufactured, I guess you could say. How they trick the population into, powering their different conspiracies. This is how conspiracies are, created. They're powered by people believing in, whatever such thing. So we look at the flat earthers. That's the conspiracy they do in the first issue. In this issue, we focus on Satan worshipping teachers, cults, people, whatnot from the 80s and 90s. And we find out how our protagonist is tied into that specific conspiracy. There's one overarching, baddie, the woman that doesn't have it, the woman in red without eyes, that seems to be tying all these different conspiracies together. That seems to be, the man behind the curtain.
I liked it.
I
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
so good.
we meet a couple more of our team, the people that our protagonist is going to be working with. They fit the stereotypes of several other conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, I liked when he went down
Fringe.
to like the what word am I looking for?
Basement.
It was like the den.
Yeah, he went down into like the
Yeah.
crypts of the building. There's a guy like the recluse down there who's got all these strings going everywhere.
Went down to
thought that was
level
funny.
12.
Pepe Sylvia, baby.
I like how they're picking very well-known conspiracy theories in events such as this one, the Satanic
Yeah.
Panic in the 70s into 80s.
Yeah.
It's really good for onboarding people onto the series. I'm sure that's how X-Files started out. in the 90s is, let's go with, the big ones that people will be like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. We'll move into something deeper in the, farther in. I get a lot of feelings about, it kind of feels, I mean, the art is very different from, any kind of thing you might read, but like a manga or an anime where you get, this kind of brute force introduction into one vein, and then you find out, our protagonist is tied into one other vein, of the same subject. And now we're introduced to the entire team, and now let's move on. I think we might get a few more conspiracy theories before we get right into the meat of whatever the group that's behind the scenes, like the Lady in Red.
This one's
I
interesting,
agree.
though, right off the bat. It's pretty personal, Satanic Panic,
Yeah.
because he seems to have had an encounter with this nonsense. So it's
Yeah.
pretty, right off the bat, the next one was pretty...
Yeah, because you've got the guy with the star. Did they give him a name, or it's just the guy with the star on his face?
Starface.
Yeah, Starface, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the Starface man, something like that.
Yeah.
I love that. I cannot tell you how much I love this design. What happens when you make a new book is you're supposed to draw you in a little bit with the first one, and then the second one they get you right away. Exactly. This does that for me so fast.
Sean was a little, Sean was like, on the other one, he was like, I thought this would be different, and now I'm pretty sure you're digging it, huh? Did you like this one more? Or am I making that
Yeah,
up?
I still really like the first one. It went in a direction I wasn't expecting, which is a
Nice.
more sort of supernatural element, but like
Very
this,
nice.
I still enjoyed it, but this does solidify it more, and I'm like, yeah, this is dope.
Nice. Nixon was not, in fact, in this issue at all.
Reagan. Was
Oh
it
yeah,
Nixon?
Reagan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Reagan, man.
I'm English and I knew the presidents better than you.
Yeah, I
Come-
just, they all look the same.
Come on, man.
Bunch of old crusty white dudes.
Ronald Reagan's the devil. You didn't get that from the cover?
No, I did. It was a slip. It was a mental slip. Like it just slipped.
Yeah.
Can I just say really quick? I really want to acknowledge like two things about this that I love. In the first issue, in the back of the book, Tynion actually mentions. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Tynion mentions that a lot of these conspiracy theories are so heavily based in anti-Semitism, and that's something that's acknowledged in this. When the bigger dude who has Fart Goblin on his T-shirt is talking about how like anti-Semitism is rising up again. When Satanic Panic happened, the best way I can describe is: do you remember those old charts from school where it's two circles that intersect with each other, and they like describe like how varying different parts kind of
Differences.
like flow together?
Yeah, the overlap chart or whatever it's called.
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram.
Yes. So imagine that, and picture anti-Semitism and Satanic Panic, and there's an overlapping part in that. Say hi to Renee. No worries.
Yo, that freaked me out because I was like, you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Holy shit, my heart was
She's
racing.
just my roommate.
Oh, it's so funny.
They overlap with each other really quickly. A lot of conspiracy theories like Flat Earth, QAnon, all have ties to anti-Semitism at some point. It's this idea of a new world order. And I think I mentioned that before, that the idea of a new world order is like that Jews rule the world. I don't believe that, by the way. I'm just quoting conspiracy theory psychos.
I would like to
and
know
this
if there
actually
is there a single conspiracy out there that doesn't revolve around the Jews in some way? I'm pretty sure almost every one, even the most basic ones, even though you'll be surprised if you say, yeah, but how do you feel about those
Mandela
Jews?
effect.
Oh,
I zoned out for a minute because I was looking through.
You'd be surprised. I'm always surprised by these conspiracies and how they link it back to the Jewish community. It's hilarious.
No, I have no idea.
Is it conspiracy? I think that Martin Short is Jimmy Glick in a skinny suit.
Oh shit! Now that one actually might be real though, so that's believable. See, that one's believable. That's hilarious.
I zoned out for a minute because my shop gave me 2 copies of Wynd #5 by mistake because I was messaging them,
Nice.
and then I zoned back in and just hear Dave go, "Why are all the conspiracy theories revolving around Jews and anti-Semitism?"
They are, dude. There's just a if there's
I've
anything,
never really thought about
if
it
there's
that
any
much, but you're right.
Yeah, they in some fashion. I remember.
Feel
I'm going
okay. Maybe somebody can help me out here because, like, don't get me wrong, I don't support any kind of racism, but I at least acknowledge that when people talk about like hating people of color, it's because they look physically different, and that's where like the rooted like
Gypsies,
reptile
man.
brain is like, you're different, I'm afraid of you, and I don't like you kind of fear. But with Jewish people, I don't really understand where that comes from. Where the fuck does anti-Semitism have its root in? I've never met a Jewish person that I'm just like, this person is dramatically different from me, therefore they must rule the world.
Well, I know where the root of the stereotype for the money comes into. It's because at one point, Christianity saw handling money and finances as a sinful process, so they would have their Jewish neighbors and friends handle the money, and they did that
Here,
for
you get your hands
hundreds of
dirty.
years. Well, because there was nothing in the religion to discourage that at the time.
Of course
So
not.
that's where, all the Jewish people have the banks and everything. It's because there was a religious reason for it, saying, I can't handle this money because there's like temptation, there's sin in it. So I'm going to give it to you to hold on to. And when I need money, I'm going to come to you essentially and get my money. And that was
That's
the idea.
fascinating. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
So that's where
heard
that
that
whole thing of, the Jewish people control the banks, because they literally did it at one point because it was a sin for certain religions to handle money in that capacity.
That's fascinating.
I
So,
hope
do you
that's
think
I
that's
hope
the,
that's
like,
one
where
of the
the tie-
conspiracies in the Department of Truth. Let's just say.
Well, I mean, they're
That's-
probably going to bring up the whole
yeah.
thing about like,
What
how
if this
Hollywood
whole
has-
book comes back to it being the Jews again? Jesus Christ, that's what he's going for. Oh my God.
I feel like some of these are becoming more like they're becoming the more over dramatized version of what these conspiracy theories are. I mean, Starface
Yeah.
is an
I liked
example of that.
I liked it.
I
I thought it was
No, I
fun.
love this
that whoever's in power tries to direct the conspiracies to what they want to happen.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're yeah.
It's just
definitely.
one more weapon to wield.
I liked it. I'm gonna keep reading. I wonder.
I
I
really
hope
like
it's
this.
kind
I
of like a
just like-
12. I don't really want it to be like a 400 issue ongoing. One day. So,
Yeah, same.
It
I'll
does
take
kind of feel like it's going to be a short one.
Yeah, I'll take a 12. Like I have a feeling like this guy, he's gonna uncover
Yeah,
whatever
this is the kind
rooting
of book where it's got a end in sight, but
Yeah,
whether
that's
it's 12,
yeah.
whether it's 24, whether it's 36, I'm here for it.
Fuck 36. What?
Well, we don't know.
No, yeah, I know, but if it was
East of West
36,
was
I
like
don't know.
45, 40, whatever it was.
Yeah,
40,
what?
yeah.
That's Hickman.
45.
Hickman kind of gets this pass because he has to take about like 25 issues to kind of get his feet wet, and then then he'll, well,
When you take out all the like info pages, just like
yeah,
big guns text, it's probably more like 15 issues.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like the art in these issues, and like the covers are great as well.
Yeah.
As I will keep reading it. That's my rating. I like
Yep.
it. I'm gonna keep reading it. I think it's going somewhere. It's gonna be. I think it.
Yeah.
I hope it gets real. It kind of creeped me out. Like the beginning creeped me out. I hate that kid shit. Like kid satanic molestation things. Like this shit freaks me out. So yeah.
I hope we keep this gas on the pedal, and I hope we don't slow down a couple issues in.
Yeah, go one deeper.
Tynan, what I've read from him has been very good recently, so I trust him to keep the pace up, and I hope he does.
Yeah. Is he married?
I don't believe so.
Oh. Maybe he's found someone. Treats him well, and he's right now he's kicking out the good one, the good stories. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna continue and moving over to the next one, which is.
Did you want to do ratings? I know you didn't rate it.
Yeah, if anybody else.
Keep reading.
Ooh, I like that.
Keep reading. I like it so much. I'm buying this pin that's in the back of the book right now.
That's cool.
I did not see this. I am going to investigate. Yeah, I'm definitely reading this. This is great. Listeners at home, if you're not reading this, buy it now.
Definitely. This was actually when I wanted to start pulling comics again. This was one I saw. This was like
We need the Jim Cramer button to go bye bye bye.
Let's see.
Just-
So the next guy we got on the docket, the next one on the docket is
Okay.
X of Swords 11, right? Well, yeah, 11. It's Stasis number 1. It's like a one
Part
shot,
11,
right?
but yeah,
Yeah.
Stasis one.
Yeah.
We're halfway there, baby.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna
Halfway
previously everybody's been getting their swords so they can go to battle in the other world or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called Otherworld.
Yep.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, let me pull it up here too. In this issue, it was cool. I mean, it was really about the other world a lot more, and it was about them. I think they had to figure out. They were going over some of their swords too, and just they were kind of tidying up their setup too, right? And and then they were as for our side, the X-Men and shit, they had like a nice little. I liked it right before they left. They had like a. I think he gave some nice words. Like almost like a Captain America speech, but I think it was Apocalypse giving the speech. That was a little different. And they end up in or in Otherworld, and dude, it's funny. Like, so they're pretty much gonna be staying there in like a hotel. Like, this is like a, like you're gonna spend the night and you're gonna eat the dinner, and then we will fight in the morning or something. Like, so they get like, I'm pretty sure the next one. If the next issue isn't fighting, the one after that is. Like, I could see that. By the way,
what is the next issue?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I could see the next couple issues still being like them at night before the fight, like, and like it ends up being like in the morning, like by the So I could still see that.
I think it's going to do like the way the issues had with character from that issue getting their sword. I think now it's going to be the character from the issue.
So like Douglas is going to get a whole nother issue.
Yeah, like New Mutants is going to be Douglas fighting.
I don't know if that's
Marauders is going to be.
That's not a good look though, because it is a battle royale, or everybody's in the fight at all. So if they do that, they kind of take away the fact that like for the next how many issues? How many issues are left? We're halfway.
11.
They have to protect Douglas for 11 fucking issues. Either that, so it's like they don't really have.
Two are coming out this week, X-Men 14, Marauders 14, and then it's going to be 3, and then 3.
Now,
I mean, they're going to come out quick.
If they split up, like let's say Wolverine took 3 people and went one way, you know what I mean? And they did like little teams, I could see them splitting up the issues like that. That would be interesting. But do you think that they're not going to all stick together in this fight to come?
I think the issues will be too busy if they try and do it all in one.
Unless they move them along pretty quick, or they overlap,
overlap,
three or 4 people fighting at the same time, 3 or 4 groups fighting at the same time.
I am. Let me pull this up quick. I don't know. I'm cool with it. It was a good issue, but it was a lot of like. Oh, you know what? I'll say how it ended. It ended with, which is kind of cool. This was like the best part of the issue was the ending, where like Apocalypse.
Major spoiler for people.
Oh yeah.
Major spoiler.
Major spoilers ahead. Fucking. So Apocalypse was roaming the halls, or pretty much Saturnine. Is that how we're pronouncing it? Have we decided?
Yeah.
Saturnine.
Yeah, Saturnine.
She gave out cards. She's pretty pompous, in her own right. And she hands out like all these like tarot cards, right? And everybody gets an interesting one, but Apocalypse crushes his. You don't get to see Apocalypse's, and then later on, he's roaming the halls talking to her. And it's funny, she kind of like pays him respect, but also treats him as he should be treated for the way he acts, which is cool. A lot of good dialogue in this. It was neat. But pretty much, I think his fate was the lovers, right? He got the lover card.
Yes.
Yeah, and then his wife appears, who was like, in the previous issue, we know that like his wife had stayed on the other side because for some reason, which I don't know, it might be fleshed out because I don't think it was fleshed out, that Apocalypse was too weak to stay or some shit. We don't know why though. I just remember her saying, he was like, I wish I could stay, and then he said, he said, I wish I could stay, and then she said, but you're too weak, and then so that's where that ended. So pretty much she's going to be fighting for the other team, which is cool.
It kind of seems like they haven't really revealed the full details of why he left. They've kind of hinted towards it a little bit and implied that he thought his family was dead. So I think that that's what the implication was, and that's why he left. But was anybody surprised
I
by
think
this?
that, I mean, this is just me. I'm only just to counter it. No, his people were the horsemen. That's he more. He no longer
That's his kid.
Yeah,
The
his
horsemen
family
are
were
his
horsemen.
kids.
his
Yeah,
So
that's what I
like,
mean.
yeah, but he didn't. He didn't leave because they were dead yet. They were staying back for a reason. He thought that they had died once the gates closed. He had, for the last like millennia, he had assumed they were dead, so he had been mourning for them. He built the pyramids for them, only to find out that they're still alive. That's why he's like, "Fuck these pyramids" in the last issue. You know. So that's where I thought he was coming from. But
And
that's just,
his wife also picked up this mantle.
yeah,
Whoever this
and that
character, who I can't recall who
yeah,
she's supposed to be again.
whoever wears it becomes a host body for a god, a dead god or some shit. That
Yeah.
like the god is like, powers his way through the mask, so she's not herself anymore. So like I can imagine Apocalypse is going to try to have a conversation with this chick, and he's not going to realize that like this isn't that chick anymore. It's the god,
I'll also point out we get introduced to several new characters through this who are the Arako sword wielders who are going to be facing the X-Men.
Yeah, which is cool. But I'd like to say maybe somebody can help me. Is there no Twilight Blade then? Why was it mentioned if nobody has the Twilight Blade? Kind of fucked up. Does anybody have it or really?
I did think about that, and I was like, Dave's going to be disappointed
I know.
there.
I'm kind of like, what the fuck was the whole point? And they even mention how like that they even say like a primordial being left the world asunder, like a fire fucking giant blew up. Like, oh man, it sucks. So I don't know. Does nobody have the Twilight Blade then? Is that what we think? Like all the X-Men?
Unless Saturnine has it for some reason.
Ooh. That would be cool. But still, where's Surtur, man? I was hoping he showed up.
I don't know. I'm just on this ride for the fun.
I know.
It's a good read.
It would just be nice if Surtur showed up out of nowhere with his giant sword. It's like doom. That'd be cool. But still really cool, and I'm excited for this fight to happen finally. I think it's going fast.
I think it's a solid event.
Maybe they could cut, instead of 22 trying to do it fast, how about 18? They could do it this fast. I think they could take out 4 issues.
I kind of like the pace that's coming out because it's going to end at the end of this month. So it's only been running since the end of September. So I give them that. There's a lot coming out, but it's not coming out like the cluster that was Empire because of COVID, and they cut out like 5 or 6 issues, and then stuff all of a sudden was coming out before it was supposed to come out and everything, and Empire was just a mess. This is actually coming out in a nice flow, and this is what you need, and putting the actual numerics on the cover and saying this is number 5 of 22, this is number 6, so as you're going through it, you can actually find it.
That shouldn't even be though like a that's a shame that has to be like something pointed out to the the people making these things. Like,
well, really? Half the time they make you buy a handbook. That's the other thing.
Oh my! You know what?
Or you got to get you got to get the first issue, and you got to go to the back, and you got to take it with you and make a list and say, okay, do I have this one? At least it's right there. Okay, this is what I need.
So how come so Image doesn't put the barcode on their comics, right? And
no, I do.
Bonus episode, the barcode.
Yeah, no, that's fine if it's on the back. I don't count that really as putting it on the, like, they don't put it on their cover page. So why?
I mean, yeah.
But they don't put an ad on the back. So that's why they do that. Like,
Image books don't have ads.
Yeah, okay, right. They don't have ads.
Image advertises themselves.
Why is DC so fucking hungry? Like, why are they broke or something? Or why is Marvel so broke? No. Then why do they need?
Big part of their profit.
That's a shame.
They
shame
get like.
No, but it's a shame that they can't even. It's a shame that they can't even their own fucking their own comics. They can't say, "Yeah, we'll put the ad on the back, but our barcode has to go back there too." So fucking what about? Like, I'm just trying to figure out why they eat shit so hard on putting the barcode on the front and not the back of. Stop
Probably
ruining.
because if
Don't
there's
ruin
ad
the
space
art.
there's probably a clause that says they can't block the ad.
I know, but that's what's bumming me out. Is then I would say, well, then you're not getting the fucking ad space, guy, because I'm not gonna be.
They like
ruining.
money too much.
Yeah, I like. You know what I did like when they used to put the Spider-Man like 80 years for Marvel. You know what I mean? They would put like
Instead
this.
of the barcode because
Yeah,
they were
I thought that was nice.
the
That-
newsstands or something.
Yeah, that was kind of classy. Like I don't know, at least it fit in with Marvel, you know, like being there. So,
Well, to
that's
be
my rant
fair,
about
some of the
barcodes.
Marvels like the horror variant covers did not put the barcode on the cover.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
So they do it. They did put it on the back because there was no
Yeah.
ad on the back.
Damn, I would pay $1. You could get $1 out of me, Marvel. A whole fucking $1. If
Thing
you
is
just moved
like
it to the other side.
the advertising space that they sell is a big part of their profits. I mean, people are making money off of Image Comics, obviously.
Enough
look at
to,
Robert Kirkman.
but it's funny, enough to sully their own cover page. I would
They don't
never
care.
sell. That's like my album cover. That's like if my album cover, all the vinyls that I had fucking barcodes on them. Holy shit! That would be the worst thing in the world. That'd be terrible.
I don't disagree, but I feel like this method of space is so deeply rooted in early stage capitalism that it's hard for them to transition out of
Oh,
that.
fuck.
And
Don't get Ty started on capitalism.
Oh
I can see
boy.
it though. I can see that they are folding to no, that's cool.
It's just how it is. It's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
That's just the way
I kind
it
of look at
is.
it like
Doodaloo, doodaloo.
how it is with newspapers. It's hard to get some of that balance out of there. There's a possibility of doing so, obviously, but I'm more surprised by the fact that DC and Marvel, as established as they are, still feel the need to fill all of that extra space with it, especially because they're backed
That's
by
what
Warner
I'm
Brothers and
saying.
everything. So
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm like, you don't want to
Yeah,
come off
they're
looking
run-
broke.
They're run by
It's like
bean counters. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's not people that like comics anymore. It's
clock
all
watchers.
freaking suits.
Yeah.
Well,
clock watch.
just really quick before we move on, look what happened to Marvel when they got sold off and they were going bankrupt because of who was in charge. It wasn't the comic people. It was the investors that were in charge. What's happening with DC right now? It's investors and people from AT&T and Warner Brothers
And
that
Warner
don't
Brothers,
understand
yeah.
comics. And this is what's happening.
you're right.
It's not comic
I mean-
people, except for Jim Lee.
Poor
Yeah.
Jim Lee.
I mean, look
That
at what
poor
happened
guy.
with Tom King and Batman. I mean, we've had the discussion before with what happened with Alfred, influenced by Warner Brothers.
I was watching.
Sean,
an
you're
interview with Tom
using
King
your
earlier where he
wireless.
addressed
You're
it.
using your wireless buds.
I am. My new
There's
wireless
no-
buds.
There's no delay. Pretty good. Hell yeah. Nice. I feared that there might be a delay, but no, fuck yeah.
No, they're pretty good. Yeah.
Good looks. All right, back to the conversation.
Yeah, I watched an interview of Tom King earlier where he was talking about the Alfred death, and it was Dan Didio who came to him and was like, "Yeah, keep Alfred dead. That's a good idea." And Tom was like, "The
Or
issue's already
you'll
out, Dan.
lose
Like,
your job."
you get this pre-release. Like, I could have sent you a PDF months ago. Like, why are you dropping me in it now? That, yeah."
Decision making that was influenced by Warner Brothers. The first thing that I read about it was that it was mostly Warner Brothers. I didn't know Dan Didio had anything to do with it.
So
Yeah, well, Warner Bros. Could have gone to Didio and said, "Go tell
Sure.
King to kill him." But
So-
yeah, originally it was supposed to be Scarecrow's fear gas making Damien see Alfred die.
and it was a lie. It was an illusion.
Yeah, Alfred wasn't
Yeah.
going to be dead, and then
Damn.
yeah.
That would've been
so
cool.
the issue
That
came
would've been
out,
way
and
cooler.
then the issue was out, and then Didio was like, "Yeah, keep him dead. That's a good plan."
Yeah,
I'm gonna get fired anyway. Keep him dead. I'll be fired in 6 months or whatever. You know, like fuck it.
professionally let go.
Yeah. All right, cool. So to end X of Swords, I'm gonna keep reading it. I like it. I think
Yeah,
this
I
is
like
a
it.
cool. I think this is a really cool event, and I think it's gonna be fucking epic when people start throwing swords at each other and shit. So
It makes sense at the end of the
Yes.
day. It flows very nicely. The very first issue got rid of a lot of talking points.
yep,
So that was by far probably the worst issue in my opinion.
yep.
It set everything up and then everything else moved. And
It's
it
funny
flowed.
because that first issue, I said the same thing, but when I got to the last like 3 pages, I was like, "Oh, cool," because that's when
Yeah.
they announced the the tournament. which is cool.
Well, it was an oversized issue too, so I'm
Yeah.
like they're probably setting up a bunch of story in this so they can just trim it out of everything else.
Yep, it's pretty dope.
Although Stasis was pretty healthy, but it had a better flow to it.
Yeah, and it
How do
wasn't
you guys
as
feel
long
about
of a-
Hickman doing this? Because I feel like Hickman fits this way better than most of the other writers that have ever taken over the X-Men mantle. I feel like he's the level of weird and like over creative, like mucky muck, weird giant alligator man with swords kind of writer that this just fits with him. Decorum is an example. Like it just, I don't know
Yeah.
how it works, but it works.
Yeah,
Let Hickman tell his story.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Don't
I
get
gotta
in-
say,
don't get in his
don't-
way.
I've seen Hickman described as Grant Morrison with less LSD, and I see it.
It's just the right amount of strange without being
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's
I would agree with that.
cohesive. It's readable,
Absolutely.
which
It
with
makes
Morrison, I
sense
think
for the
sometimes
universe.
isn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, does it make sense for that universe?
I think.
No, I think that's a very acute way of talking about. I think that's very astute of you to say.
So, how many do we have next week? Sorry, I forget. How many of these in this
Two.
run?
Too.
Two. Okay, cool.
X-Men and Marauders.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
that's gonna be short.
So moving on to the next comic on the docket. Go ahead, Sean. You know it.
Dark Knight's Death Metal, Rise of the New Gods.
And I'm
I
gonna
just realised we didn't do the intro for X of Swords. That was written by Jonathan Hickman and Teenie Howard, and art by Mahmoud Asrar and Pepe Larraz. And on to
Mhm.
Dark Knight's Death Metal, Rise of the New Gods, written by James Tynan IV, and art by Nick Virelli. And there is a second story in here that we'll get to as well with a different creative team.
All right, you guys can
So
discuss it. I'll
this-
hop in at the end. Go ahead. Fucking goddamn it, Dark Knights. Pain in the ass.
So this issue deals with the Batman who laughs fighting Perpetua, and we have this new character who he's called Chronicler, and he is from beyond the source. So he is from outside the multiverse, and his job is to chronicle the multiverse. And yeah, so it's recorded what happened there.
He's like fucking Uatu, Uatu the Watcher almost.
Yes,
You know.
he is.
But
Yeah.
but
He also reminds
seems
me a bit
way
of Cosmic
more
Ghost Rider in his look.
yeah, oh man, see, I should have said that to you yesterday when you were drunk. God damn it. I was going to say he totally looks like I didn't want to say he was a cop out of Ghost Rider because he's not. He just looks like him. It's cool. He looks cool.
Yeah.
And I like him. He's probably my new favorite character, to be honest with you. Even though I'm
Yeah,
still not
I
digging
really
this
like
whole fucking shindig, his story was cool in this. He's cool.
Yeah.
I like his almighty power.
Yeah. He goes to so he comes through into the multiverse from beyond the source and is witnessing the Batman who laughs and Perpetua fighting. And he's saying, like, this is happening too fast, like they're progressing too rapidly. I need to be quick. So he goes to Roger Hayden, the psycho pirate, who
Yeah,
he
this
is the
guy's cool.
only he
That's
is
cool.
the only character who remembers the Silver Age and the Bronze Age. He
That's
remembers
bullshit.
Crisis on Infinite Earths happening, and he is the only character who does so. And it's to do with his mask and his powers. It's a bit weird, but yeah.
But it was dope. That's
So-
awesome. That's sick.
Yeah, he remembers every multiverse change. From Crisis on Infinite Earths, 0 Hour, Infinite Crisis, New 52, he remembers it all. He sees the changes, he remembers it all. So the Chronicler absorbs information from him, and we get this beautiful page of the different universes. We have the Golden Age JSA, we have the Silver Age Justice League, we have Superman from the cover of Superman issue 1, we have some New 52 stuff, we have some Rebirth stuff, and yeah. And throughout the course of this issue, it follows Chronicler going around to different characters, like Brainiac, doing the same thing where he's absorbing the knowledge, and he gets invested in these characters. He kind of serves the role of the reader, where he's exploring his world, falling in love with these characters, and
The way I saw it was it was almost completely fourth wall breaking, where he was pretty much like how he, just like the fans right now, how the fans feel, where he was like, man, this fucking shit looks like it's fucking crumbling around them, you know, like their whole comic line is just falling the fuck apart. But I love the characters. He's like, I'm gonna save them, you know, like I don't know. That's just how I saw it, as like a real fucking beyond fourth wall break, where he was saying like, I don't know, because like I'm over here saying this whole time that like
we lost everybody.
I was never lost.
Hey, did you just go on a big tangent and we just froze?
Oh no!
Everybody-
I was still
fuck.
talking, and I was like, "Oh, what was
Okay,
the
let
last
me
thing you
say
guys
it
heard me
again.
say?"
What did you
Let
do?
me say it again. Let me say it again.
Last thing I heard was Sean talking.
I felt like this was a huge fourth wall break, like fuck you almost, because like think about me as the fan. I'm reading this story. DC's doing whatever DC's currently doing, and I'm over here saying like, what the fuck are these people doing? Like, I love these characters, but like, what the fuck is happening? And then like this guy over here, he's like the chronicler. He's like, he starts getting real invested in the characters. He's like, man, this universe is completely fucking collapsing, but like, I really like these characters. I'm gonna save it. I'm like, yeah, save it.
What was the
Save it.
last? What was the last bit you heard me say of my recap?
I think the last thing I heard you say was, "Go ahead, Dave. Whatever you said to let me talk." And that was it. Like, did you hear me say to you? Oh, really? Fuck. Then you must have just frozen. I started talking then. I don't know. Then I don't know.
Did you hear the page where I said about the splash page where it's got all different incarnations
the
of characters
gold,
on it?
the golden. I got all that. You got all the way up to the 52. Yeah.
And the chronicler like falls in. He goes around, finds different characters like Brainiac and stuff, and he starts getting invested in the characters and falling in love with this universe.
Right.
And going back to Three Jokers, where we were talking about something set up 4 years ago, the same issue that set up Three Jokers is referenced here, because we have Chronicler bring back Metron, who died at the end of Darkseid War. He was killed by Manhattan.
Wait, say it again.
You
I'm
guys
sorry.
sat very still. I
right.
was worried you'd frozen again.
No, I was reading the chat and realizing everybody got booted, and then okay, go ahead, say it again.
So Chronicler brings Metron back to life, who was killed at the end of Darkseid War by Dr. Manhattan. So, yeah, we had Three Jokers addressed in the same issue from 4 years ago, and now we have Metron back for the same week. And
very nice. Yeah, Metron seems cool.
Yeah, we basically get Metron to give him insight into all these characters, the multiverse, and the Chronicler's like, oh shit, I want to save this. This is dope. And yeah, I thought this was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep reading it. That's what I'll say about it. I can't say this was a good. This was good.
This was my favorite. This is my favorite issue of Death Metal so far.
I did find a new character. If they make a statue out of this guy, I'm gonna probably buy his statue. He's cool as shit. But I also am
is it $6 worth? Do you think it's worth $6?
No, I don't think any of them have been. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a single one that has been $6 worth yet. Besides maybe the first one.
I really enjoyed this though. I really liked it.
But no, it was fun. Tiny's continuously doing really good work. I mean, for 2 stories, I guess that's okay, but I still feel like $6 for a book like this is a little weird.
I was drunk when I paid for it, though, so that doesn't count.
If anything, it's $6 because it's printed on some decent paper.
I paid £16 for We Live #1, and I was drunk, so that doesn't count either.
I wish I got We Live.
Yeah, so it doesn't count. Okay.
I wish I got.
I haven't looked at my bank account today. It's gonna hit me when I do.
You know what I just realized? This is interesting. Dave, you were just talking about advertising in DC and Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a single advertisement in this book that isn't based from DC.
I think with their event books.
So why don't they have control over getting their barcode off the cover then? Exactly my point. This is totally a choice by them, which is pissing me off because it's a terrible fucking choice. Like, look on the back. It's a DC ad, so put the barcode on the fucking back. They shouldn't have any fucking clause or any problem with doing that. It's a bunch of baloney.
They want you to buy the Virgin variant for $15.
Listen, this is what I'll say. Exactly. For any DC executives out there, come on the show, state your fucking case. All right, buddy? And we'll have our 2 bits and we'll go at it. Because it's a dumb fucking call. And you look broke as shit. That's all I'm saying. That's like me walking with my pockets. That's like me walking with my pockets pulled out of my pants. Like, what the hell am I doing, dude? I got money. Put it back in my... come on. not gonna walk around and like act like I got nothing. That's why I need to add
Sound
space.
like Snickers.
Fucking DC.
And then we had a
Marvel.
second story with the Green Lanterns, written by Brian Hill and art
Oh,
by
come
Nick
on.
Varela.
Wait,
What?
Crave, it went over our heads. I didn't even hear it. What'd you say?
You sound like you need a Snickers, one of those advertisements in all of the DC comics.
Yeah. Oh, do I need a Snickers as well? Because I could go get one. Well, it was
You
Halloween.
might.
It was
Yeah,
Halloween.
Halloween.
Well, I'm a Kit Kat guy, so I'm gonna get Kit Kats instead.
Traitor.
I do like Snickers though. I do like Snickers. Yeah.
The
Does
Green
anybody
Lantern story was
know-
cool.
No,
It
it was
was-
really good. The art's kind of cool.
We
Yeah.
had Simon Baz and Jessica
The
Cruz back
art
for the
was
first time in years.
cool. The art was
Yeah.
cool. But
Well, wait a
just
minute.
the
No,
story.
Jessica Cruz and Simon Bass have been around before.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them in a while.
I
Not
mean,
since
it's
their
been
book
a minute,
ended.
Oh, it's raining here, baby. Woo, 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 woo.
Does anybody know Brian Hill? Because I'm actually a fan of his from American Carnage.
I heard good things about
Mm.
American Carnage, but never read it. I've read some of his stuff before. He did Outsiders. He did an arc of Detective Comics.
Batman and the Outsiders, because I never hopped on.
I read like 3 issues and it was fine. I heard it
Okay.
got good though. It just wasn't. I've got like up to issue 10. I just didn't get around to reading it. It was like a busy week when it came out and just didn't get around to it, and then never did.
I'm frustrated for him because he's a really good author, in my opinion, and I don't think that he really gets enough opportunities for really good work. I think that when he gets a lot of creative freedom, he really shines. American Carnage was really emotional for me. That's a story about a FBI undercover ops infiltrating a white supremacist group and politician, but using a black man who passes as white to infiltrate the group, which is very interesting to see. And it's a very, very interesting parallel to have that kind of exchange with the characters. That was when I decided he was a good author. I enjoyed this. Still, I'm confused by the ending. Maybe because somebody can help me out here.
I didn't really understand it either. You mean him giving the Green Lantern ring?
Oh yeah, what do you mean? He's like he probably that was I mean in my mind that was probably just representation as like we have thousands of these. Every one of you is about to put one on and you're gonna fuck shit up. That's what
Sure.
I got. He was just only only one was in his hand, but like he was like you're all about to get one. That's kind of what I thought. So
Why is there a
Ty-
ship full of Green Lanterns again? I forget.
they were
It was from the
like-
Multiverse's End issue.
It was
I don't
all
remember
like
it though.
whoa, and then they were all like whoa, and then
They
it was
were
like,
going through the
what?
multiverse, destroying the tuning fork
that's-
towers, and the worlds got destroyed. They were sort of flung into the bleed.
I think Snyder should watch these reviews because I still am going to keep reading it. That's the thing. He can just kind of get it from a guy who's still going to buy his product. He could get where I'm coming from. Just like, what, bro? Like, come on. Like, come on.
Controversial opinion. I think Snyder got lucky with Court of Owls, and he's just sort of been riding that success ever since.
I'm thinking, dude, I've been thinking that hard. I've been thinking that so
Because
hard
he's
lately.
not a bad writer.
Because I'm
but
almost, dude, I'm over here thinking I haven't started Court of Owls. Like, I have it over here, and I'm thinking, like, I think this guy's all hype train. I think it's all, I like Undiscovered Country, though. I liked even,
yeah,
like,
but he's co-writing that, so it's not all him.
Oh, yeah, I think he
And-
might have gotten lucky. I think I really
I think he's a
don't.
good writer.
I think that the
Yeah, I'm not trying to say he's a bad writer. He's definitely a solid writer,
What-
but I think
what's up with all the I write I want to. Does he have any upcoming DC events that is just on the ground? No more multiversal nonsense
Nightwing Black Label series.
coming up. All right, because like that's gonna be his.
It's
only
not been
chan-
officially announced, but he's teased it heavily.
That's gonna be his only chance to prove to me, like, get
Tyler's
grounded.
very excited.
Get grounded, brother, because you are on some multiversal crazy shit.
I hear about the
Um,
Nightwing Black Label story, and I'm gonna laugh like Cher. Just
All right,
Give it to me.
so
Ty, just on the last page of this issue, on the right-hand
Yeah.
side, where he's got the Green Lantern ring, the Green Lantern with like the sort of proper lantern, she's from Grant Morrison's Green Lantern, isn't she?
Yeah, so she's a part of that like multiversal, like alternate universe storyline. All of these characters
Okay.
are part
Earth
of the
Zero.
multiverse
Yeah, I
storyline.
recognised I recognize Black Superman, Vampire Batman, Captain Carrot.
Is that his
Verse 23.
official? Is that his official
Yeah.
name, Black Superman?
No.
He's Barack Obama, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is it Calvin Ellis? I want to say.
I think it's Calvin. I don't know what his last name is.
Yeah. We've got Uncle Sam on the
but-
right.
Well-
We've got Bizarro. We've got
I gotta
Etrigan
say,
Superman.
really quick. I didn't mention this before, but I love the fact that we have the Stan Lee Wonder Woman creation in the background over here. I like that.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize.
Nice.
Shh.
So we're still sticking with Kal-El. So that's pretty cool.
Sorry, say again.
If they're calling him Calvin Ellis, they're sticking with Kal-El.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that.
it's like a modern. Yeah, it's a That's cool. That's a Grant Morrison creation.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay. So cool. All right. I'm keep reading it. I don't like it, but I'm gonna keep reading it. That's how I feel.
This
about
is
it.
my favorite. Yeah, this is my
did like-
favorite issue of Death
and-
Metal so far.
Yeah, I did like the new character.
Death Metal is this?
It was a tie-in. It wasn't a main issue.
Tie-in. We're at like issue 5 though. I think
Okay.
Yeah, I think
It had
issue
that
4
Superman
was.
in it?
7.
Sorry.
It had that
Yeah.
Superman in it.
Oh.
The Calvin Ellis.
No, he's from Multiverse T, and
Oh,
he's shown up
okay.
in a few Grant Morrison things.
Alright,
Yeah, he's just
look
there,
into
yeah.
that.
We got on the docket. Next on the docket is Undiscovered Country, number 9. Very nice.
Yeah.
Give us.
I have to walk early because I don't want any spoilers.
You're reading this, Crave?
I will at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna hop off here and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Okay, John. What is your favorite book of the week you read? Your highlight pick?
I like Lost God, Songs of Lost Children. It's a one shot for the Last God. I thought that was great. That definitely kicked up the macabre factor to 11. It was something else there. I would suggest it to folks that aren't reading The Last God. There's some spoilers in there, and there's a lot of things that you might not pick up on. But I mean, for reading The Last God, there's 9 issues out right now. This was a pretty good one shot. It ties up a couple plot holes, not plot holes, but like things that you had questions about.
Very nice.
Cool. It is a series I do want to check out at some point, so
Yeah.
I will try and catch up at some point.
All right,
Yeah.
see you guys.
Nice
Peace,
seeing you,
Crave.
mate. See you later.
Oh look. Douche. Nice. All
Okay,
right.
Undiscovered Country, take us away, Ty. Oh, wait, Undiscovered
No.
Country number 9, written by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule, and art by... I don't have the artist.
Giuseppe
Two
Camincoli.
people.
Giuseppe Camincoli. I had Leonardo Marcello Grassi written down, and I was like, that's definitely not right.
They're both on it.
That is because
Is that the Inca, maybe?
Yeah, you gotta
this
give
is the
that
thing
anchor.
that I've
Give
noticed.
that anchor on it.
They had this with another book we were looking at earlier, where the inker was just gone. It was X of Swords. For some reason, the inker was just like case of the missing inker. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah.
I think it's just that they're giving them artist credit at this point, which is fine. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think it would make more sense to give them the full credit at the inker, because I don't really have an issue with just calling them that title. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Nope, Sean's gone.
Sorry?
Sean.
No, Sean's gone.
I'm here.
Oh, that's weird. You're not popping up on my end. All right, no worries.
Okay, I'm still here. Don't worry.
Just fixing up some shit. I really like this one. I'm still with it. The story overall. I like it. I think
So
it's
basically happens here is it opens up with what's that guy's name again? The guy with the horns.
the Destiny Man.
Destiny Man.
Thank you, Destiny Man, popping out of the tunnels and getting swallowed up by the techno snakes, as I think is what they are, in the land that we saw in the last issue. In the last issue, we saw the cast of characters coming to Unity to find Lottie and her brother's parents being alive in this interesting zone of I guess the word would be a technocracy. Basically, it's a zone where technology has become so far advanced that they can create spaces, shapes, etc., and apparently even people from the technology that they have. So they kind of come to.
I would just like to interject
interact.
and say I'm amazed you could just throw off the term technocracy, whatever it was. I've never heard that word before, and yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the idea of a technocracy is the idea of society benefits from how much technology progresses and how much society is benefiting from that technology. In a lot of ways, it's a system that is socialist in the sense of sharing technology with others and allowing for progress to happen
Socialism?
without
You mean
limitations.
communism?
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, that's just what has happened so far. And per Snyder's history of being full on crazy, a bunch of wacky stuff happens. What do you guys think?
I'm still
I
with
really
it.
like this issue. Yeah.
I like well, if I had to just make a call, hit the Destiny Man is the twins' father. And or it's or it's Uncle Sam.
No.
Oh,
Issue
did we already
10
figure out who
or
he is?
8.
Who is he?
Oh, we're not even like. If this is issue 9, I was like, I think in issue 10. No, I think it was issue 7 or 8.
Who
We
is
have
he?
that flashback to when they found the zones.
Mm-hmm,
And the Destiny Man was there, and he was like some sort of hillbilly type with like long hair, Confederate flag.
Damn, I don't remember that. All right, never mind. That
I'll see if I can
ruins.
find it for you and send you.
That foils my plan. I thought. I also thought that. It was cool when his ear, like, or his like antler, hit the hit the white shit, because I'm pretty sure he, the only reason the white shit will link with you is if you want it to, and I think he just linked with it, because he wanted to. That's like
Did anybody else notice that the artist like has really improved on this issue? I feel like the panels are a lot stronger. The colors are really dramatic here. Typically, when I'm reading Giuseppe Camuncoli, I feel like I'm trying to drink in as much as possible because there's so much detail. But for lack of a better word, the camera zoom in, the lens, the angles of everything has changed a lot. And I'm looking at it now, and I'm just accepting it for what it is. It's going
just
So you're saying
accept
into my brain.
the layouts have improved.
They really have. I feel like he's changed up his style just a little bit, and maybe that's just because of how it looks like. Even this 4-panel sequence right here, I just look at this and I actually want to sit there and look at it for a while. I don't know. I just feel like it's changed in a really good way.
I mean, I'll have to say that this one didn't demand much color. It was a lot of just like lines, because it was all white,
Yeah, the colorist got a week off work.
Yeah, because so many white, so much white. I'm super down for the Destiny Man, so like I want to see what his fucking spiel is.
Yeah, this book's setting up so much, and I'm just intrigued to see where it's going to go.
Yes, so I'm gonna keep reading it. Thank you for not putting
Yeah,
the
this
barcode
is-
on the front image. Fucking whack jobs.
Do you want some pepper with that salt?
Yeah, we're gonna hound them for as many as it takes till they get it.
Yes,
fucking
we are
right.
gonna hound them.
Yeah,
Just
us
like how
together.
we only have one testicle,
Yes.
and we are very sad
Yeah.
about it every night.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, our podcast of our 11 or 12 subscribers, we're going to stick it to the man and get them to move their
I
barcode.
want to start a whole fucking world. I'm gonna go worldwide, buddy. Worldwide, blowing the lid.
World star.
Let's what do we got? I'm down with it. I'm gonna keep reading it. I think it's
Yeah,
cool,
I think
and
it's
I think it's kind of makes me feel like it's a readable Fallout almost. Like it just seems like it's like, because it's post-apocalyptic. It feels RPG just
Sure.
because there's so many people in it or some shit. That's just like a lot of stories happening at once. I feel like there's quests being done and shit. I don't know. It's cool. It's neat. It just feels it's
I'm
good
enjoying
paced. Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying the fact that it feels like there's a really good. I feel like having 2 writers on this makes this stronger because I feel like they have the
Yes.
chance to talk about who these characters are. Like when Ace.
Yeah, it already feels really fleshed out early on.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you can tell they have the discussions about everything.
What do you guys think about Uncle Sam and the techno space talking to Destiny Man? What do you think's going on in there? That seems implicative to me, or maybe foreshadowing that there's some deeper history between Uncle Sam's.
There's
Plural,
many Sams.
and Destiny Man.
If
Yeah,
anything,
well,
it just
there's still a lot of
established
mystery
his-
behind Uncle Sam. We don't know why there's so many of him. We don't know.
If anything, they we've
I'm
at
just
least
going to
established
point
there's a
out
lot of
what
Sams.
is the cover of this issue supposed to be representing?
I was just gonna ask. I don't understand what this
Oh,
is.
you don't know what that is, Dave?
Yeah, no. Look at this. I mean, they never really
That
talk
is-
about it. What happened?
Oh, that's the vagine. You know, the
Oh,
vagine.
get the fuck out of here!
Yeah,
I swear to God.
that's it. That's the techno vagine right there.
You take a look at here. You look
Yep.
at right here.
Yes.
And then just a little bit of this.
And inside is the wizard. You know.
The
So watch
one that
out.
lives inside of every
Yep.
woman's vagina. You have to fight your way through there.
Okay, let's see. I don't know what that is, but it does look rotten. Whatever it is, it looks like it makes what's it called? YouTube. What's this place called? Aurora? No, this one's called
Unity.
I think it's Unity, isn't it?
Yeah, Unity.
Yeah.
This one's Unity. It makes it seem flawed. Like the cover makes the place seem like there's something wrong with it. So
Yeah, but I guess I'm just not understanding like what this character is. Like this isn't something that was discussed in this issue, unless
maybe
like,
it's
this is-
gonna be the Destiny Man once he's linked with it. You know, maybe that's like what he's like making his own body or something. Kind of like how that chick's made of like, and how Uncle Sam's kind of made of all that shit too.
I feel like this is an example of when there's not really a whole lot of communication between the writers and the artists about what's going to happen for the
Yeah,
covers.
just draw a fucking
and-
draw a vagina. Yeah. Just draw a little vagina
feel
on
like-
the cover, and you're good.
This is probably foreshadowing towards issue 10 without intending to, but I still don't really I don't know. It's not necessarily a criticism of the story. I'm enjoying it. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
I
me
agree.
neither. Yep, I'm on the same page. All right, moving on to Action Comics though.
Action Comics 1026, written by Brian Michael Bendis and art by Romita Jr.
Do you want me to give the rundown?
Yeah, you do the rundown for this because I'll be too negative.
Ooh,
Cool. So I will say this: John Romita Jr.'s art in this one is a lot more fleshed out. It looks like he's taking a little bit more time on it rather than rushing through, which I'm happy about. This is very clearly another one of those Bendis endings, kind of wrapping up some of the stuff that's going on and having really big bombastic stuff happening. What's happened here is in the previous issue, there was a revelation of a character from an alternate universe that is basically the Parasite, which is a famous Superman villain throughout the years. My favorite portrayal has been in the Jeff Johns, I think it was Gary Frank.
Secret Origin.
Yes, thank you. I loved that. This one comes
was
from a
pretty good.
universe that, yeah, he killed like every Superman member. And this one, he has sucked out the life forces and energy of Connor Kent, I believe, and now is attacking the rest of the family. There's more things going on in the background, which I think kind of add to what's going on with this. Otherwise, this would just be another like fight sequence. But what's going on in the background is the fight between Superman and Red Cloud, which I enjoy because that's actually talking about the loss of the very recently introduced character who was killed by the Red Cloud. Her name escapes me right now, but she was the head of
Melody
Fire-
Moore.
Melody Moore, thank you. I kind of felt weird about her being killed. It just didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was necessary, but I am wondering if that's because Bendis is trying to show the humanity of Superman and just like him feeling powerless despite the fact that he's the most powerful being on Earth.
I
But
guess so.
there's
She did feel like a wasted character because she was introduced in Man of Steel and she seemed like quite important. She looked like she's going to be big for the run.
Yeah.
And I don't remember her showing up except when he revealed his identity.
There was a couple times during the early part of Action Comics where it's the revelation of like where the fires are starting and how Red Cloud gets tied into all this, and the
Yeah.
secret organization. There's also the backdrop story with him revealing his identity where he wanted her to run for mayor, which I really liked. But again, that's another thing where Bendis wrote something really cool, like the corruption of the mayor's office, and then kind of fell off. And I don't really like that. The backdrop story about this that I thought was really interesting was what was going on between Miss Leon and Lois Lane, and the implication that she knows, actually the direct statement that she knows that Lois Lane and Superman are not from this Earth, and that like they have plans. So this is another one of those Bendis story things where he is acknowledging that, you know, in the DC continuities, things have been changing around. The history of how these characters got into this rebirth universe is because they were from the original universe. The New 52 Superman and Lois Lane are gone. They're no more. And these ones are here. You're shaking your head. No, what's going on?
Superman Reborn retcon that.
Which is a book I didn't understand at
Wait,
Superman
all.
Reborn with where they did Superman Red and Blue and Mixie Pitlick was causing
Oh.
shenanigans.
Well, hang on a second. Superman Reborn, the rebirth issue.
Yeah, like 4-issue crossover between Superman and Action. They established that when, I can't remember exactly what it was, but when Manhattan caused stuff, he split Superman in two. And one was Superman Red, one was Superman Blue. And one was the New 52 one, and one was the other one who we thought was pre-Flashpoint.
It was already clarified that at the beginning of the Patrick Gleason, Peter J. Tomasi run, that they are from separate universes, but now they're...
They retconned it in Superman Reborn.
So then what's going on with this issue? Because they're still implying that Lois Lane and the Superman are not from this Earth.
I think this is Leon causing shenanigans, and
that seems like really... That seems unnecessary. I feel like if they're going to bring that up, then I feel like it's an acknowledgement that...
like, I kind of see it, but they definitely retconned it, and Superman New 52 and pre-Flashpoint merged, and he was the true Superman of this universe.
So there's still one issue, because the original Superman from the New 52 Superman did die, and that's still acknowledged, is it not?
I don't remember. Give me a minute to try and find this.
Give the man a minute, all right? Would you, Ty? Give the man a minute, all right? Jesus.
So the reason why I'm suggesting this is because in Young Justice, Bendis is also talking about different timelines and universes and how people are like remembering certain things and why Connor Kent exists, but they don't remember where he's from. And then Kid Flash is like, yeah, I've gone back and I've seen all these different universes, and that's why I remember everything. It's all in my head. That's what's kind of happening here now.
I don't know, give me a second to get Superman Reborn up.
Yeah. That's what I figured what was going on here right now. And I feel like they're going to wrap that up in 2 issues and be like, oh, Leon gets... I'm making a prediction. Leon gets captured and arrested, and then they like never talk about it again. But
That's
it definitely seems
probably, yeah.
like it seems like there's a recognition that there's different universes and characters kind of coming together out of that, especially with what's coming up with the upcoming DC event that's been announced. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was fun. I'm excited for Bendis' next thing, and I've not hated this so far, but
I think it's definitely lost a lot of steam as it's gone on.
you know,
Like
I
the
feel
first-
like he was... Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, the first arc with Invisible Mafia was really strong, and then it did the Naomi tie-in, which I still thought was really strong. And then it did the Event Leviathan tie-in, where it was doing that weird, like, 2 timelines thing, where, like, part of the story was set in the present day, where a battle had happened in Metropolis, and then it would jump back to leading up to the battle. And I thought that was really weak. I can't remember what arc it was called, but it was, like, volume 3 or 4. And then, since Ramita joined on art, I think the story's gone downhill a lot.
I don't know. He is one of my favorite artists, and I do like have a bit of a bias with it. I think that there's been issues where his art has not been its strongest, but I feel like
he has done some great stuff. Like, I know I'm shitting on him a little bit now, but like his Spider-Man stuff is really good. His Daredevil stuff was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He did a tie-in to Dark Knight Returns a few years ago, and that was really good. I can't remember what it was called. Last Crusade.
Dark Knight Returns, Last Crusade with the Joker.
Yeah, that was really good art there. And he's so it shows he's still capable of doing good art, but I don't know. My comic shop owner, or the previous owner, knows him, and he said he's the kind of artist who won't miss a deadline, even if that means
Yeah.
sacrificing quality.
I think you and Tabs have said that on a couple different occasions, and that's fine. I mean, I would rather have an artist finish stuff on time. Don't get me wrong; I want them to be good about their art, but I also don't want Shazam where it takes 2-3 months to finish an issue.
And you've got like 6 artists in one issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Bendis started taking over a lot of his attention to Legion of Superheroes, and it really shows in the latest issue. That's, by the way, I really cannot suggest this enough. Hop on Legion when you can, because I really do feel like this is some of
I
Bendis's
did
best writing right now.
So I've read some of it, and I did enjoy what I read, but I just sort of fell behind and didn't catch up. So I might try and catch up at some point.
If for any other reason Ryan Sook is still on this as an artist, and that is reason enough.
Yeah, his artwork was great.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this until Bendis hops off. I don't know who's gonna take over.
2-3 issues left, haven't we?
2. 28 is when it ends. There's a big announcement. The cover is, or maybe it's Superman. Superman and Lois in the sky being all romantic, which I think is really cute. By the way, this has been my favorite portrayal of Superman and Lois through any other issue or run. So I love that Bendis has done that for these two characters, because this is the only time I've ever been like, this is how Superman and Lois should be written. And I've not read like a ton of Superman, so I'm not like the Herald.
I haven't read loads.
The stuff that I've read, I've been a really big fan of, but this is, in my opinion, the best portrayal of those two as a couple, and I like what they're doing as far as the family dynamic.
Yeah, my first sort of big dive into Superman was with Superman and Action Comics and Rebirth, where because before that I'd read like the odd issue, the odd story arc, but never really sat down and read a run of Superman.
Yeah.
So Rebirth, I really liked the Tomasi Gleason stuff where they did the family dynamic with them raising John, and it's so good. And I do feel like that run did sort of lose steam after a while as well. After the Manchester Black stuff, it just sort of got to like sort of filler arcs and.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. I think that there's
just sort of spinning
I think Superman definitely strikes me as the kind of character that people have really great ideas for, and then sometimes people just start to lose a little bit of steam, which is sad because I think that he's still a fascinating character. I think that there needs to be more people changing hands for this character, and I'm really looking forward to Mark Waid eventually doing it, which he needs to. Mark Waid, do it.
I hope so. We're addressing you now, Mark Waid. You had better do this.
Goddamn Mark Waid.
You just had to fuck off to Marvel for all those years, didn't you?
You know what? I actually don't mind it. I mean, I get his reasoning why, like with
I get
Bandidio and everything, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what he does with DC, because I feel like he is a very, very, very strong DC writer.
Definitely, yeah. Like, I've heard good stuff about some very good stuff from his Marvel stuff, but like on the whole, it's not as well received as his DC stuff was.
I agree.
Let's see.
What are you going to say, Dave?
I know, just on the whole, things are always better on the whole. Yep.
I do really want to go back and read his Flash run at some point.
Same.
I've read bits of it and it was great, and I need to sit down to read it the whole way through.
Okay. Did you guys rate it? No, or did you give it your?
I'm still going to keep reading.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm interested to see who comes next.
Suicide Squad. Up next, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, number 10, written by Tom Taylor, art by Bruno Redondo.
So previously on Suicide Squad, Deadshot.
Are you doing? Yeah, you're doing this. Cool.
Deadshot was Deadshot, and he fell out of a building, and then that's
shot dead.
Yeah, shot dead. And that's where it picks up. And
literally straight after,
right?
He's still falling out the window.
Ted Korg out the window, and then give me 1 sec just to remember, like, cause all right. So let me just see this. Okay. Oh, it did end pretty cool. Fuck, it did end really cool. See, God. God damn her. So pretty much the whole thing is that they had infiltrated a city, hopefully to uncover whatever the fuck they were trying to uncover about this Ted Korg and his evil plans. And then you find out
Yeah,
this is on
because
the
he
last
had.
one. Yeah. And then you find
Yeah.
out that the Black Mask has been running the whole shindig using some kind of like cloaking technology to like change his body up or whatever. So he shoots Deadshot, he falls out the window, and then like so this issue picks up immediately after that with like, okay, oh shit, I think Aerie goes up and like catches Deadshot out of the sky, which was pretty cool, and Ted Korg saves him too, right? They save him. And then I know that for some reason they talked to the Ares mom, and I can't remember. She's like some like diplomat of some state or some shit where this war.
Yeah, isn't she like president of a country or something?
Where this war is supposedly going on and shit. And like if you remember from the very beginning, there was like the guy who he could blow himself up and shit, and then he got shot in the head. Well, his sister is now being used as
TNT.
Like TNT. I think it's his sister, right? She's being used.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's being used as like some kind of fucking bomb. So like in order to shut it down, they're like, we're gonna fucking shut it down, you know? But then they can't shut it down. But like cool things that happen are like Finn like looks Ted Korg's like, I'm not. He's like, because they don't trust Ted Korg because like he was they thought he was the shithead because he kind of was, but it wasn't him. So like, Finn like is like analyzing his brain or some shit, and then he's like, he could tell that he was telling the truth. He's like, you're the Blue Beetle. He was like, this guy's good, you know. I was like, oh shit, that was really cool. That was like a dope scene.
Yeah.
So they knew that Ted's honest, which is cool. That was neat. And then the way it ends is like the TNT girl's gonna blow up, and like the Zebra Man comes in out of nowhere with his fucking force field. I did like there was like a scene in here too where they flashback to all the characters. Give me a sec. Can't remember. Yeah. Black Mask like turned into Jog for a second. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was dope. That was a sick scene.
And
she ripped his face off.
Finn's brother as well.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that was so dark when she did that.
Yeah, she ripped his face off, which his mask isn't supposed to come off. So
yeah, because they say, "Oh, I didn't realize the mask was stuck to him," and Harley's like, "Yeah, it burnt onto him in a fire."
Yeah. So pretty much it ends with a giant. Does it explode or it leaves you on the
Yeah.
The cliffhanger?
It explodes and it's got Zebra Man's got a force field around her to try and contain the blast.
Yeah. So pretty dope. I'm down. There's one issue left, so I just want to see how this ends. And
this has been DC's best mainline continuity book.
At least it's been like steady. Like, you know, it's been
every issue I've been like, this is so good.
Even like the callback to like Jog and stuff, like that was cool because that was a cool ass scene, you know. So yeah, I'm down. I just want to finish it up, and then it could at least end with a solid note, and DC can go walk themselves off the ledge if they'd like. Their dumb barcodes and shit, and we can move on. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's dope. I think Tom Taylor's done a great job with it.
It's really cool. It's doing some great stuff.
Yeah, I think the way like the panels are laid out in this is cool. Like it just feels like a movie. It feels very cinematic. Like all the paneling stuff, the colors are bright, really vibrant and stuff. Even though I know it's a different colorist from like the first half. First half colorist was really dope too.
Is this not Adriana Lucas still?
I don't know. I just remember I thought you said from like the very first guy who started in the first one. Colorist or maybe the artist changed.
Oh no, there was a fill-in artist a few times along the way.
Oh, okay, but the colorist remained.
Let's have a look at the colorists. Is it Adriana Lucas? That's the credit page.
The next one,
same colorist.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say it seems like it had remained very similar. Very vibrant. Seems pastel. Almost like has its own like life to it.
I was gonna say, should we do the Donny Cates book now?
Sure. Up to you.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
Tabs, are you alive?
I'm alive. I'm here.
Are you reading Suicide Squad? You strike me as the kind of person who would be reading a Harley Quinn book right now.
No. I am limiting myself on the DC, considering the apparent hard reboot that they're going to do. So
Allegedly.
the only ones I'm going to be reading is Catwoman, just because I have read Catwoman in the past, and probably some of the future state. I'm going to check that out when that drops it next year.
I'm going to definitely recommend you check out this book because it's been acknowledged and confirmed by the artist on Twitter that this is not something that's been canceled, and there isn't going to be so much of a hard reboot that's going to completely wipe out everything. This strikes me as another one of those event story things that's going to impact them for like a month, maybe two, and then they're going to go back to the state of normality for things. I really recommend this. This is, in my opinion, one of the better stories with Harley Quinn. Tom Taylor does a great job writing her. He has since
Injustice.
Injustice. Thank you. Yes.
Maybe I'll get some trades at some point, and maybe
I really recommend it.
What is it? Dark Justice League seems kind of cool with the body horror and stuff going on, but I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, Justice League Dark. I read the first Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
based on the animated
first 20 issues.
I have no I can't talk about the comics, but based on the animated Dark movies, I fucking hate them. Sorry. It's just they're just like not.
Okay, so
the first 20 issues were written by James Tynion, and they were really solid. I read about 12 of them and then just sort of fell behind. And now it's written by Ram V, who is doing Catwoman, and I've heard really good things about his issues as well. So it's probably a good bet to check out.
My wife is cooking something fabulous. I can smell it.
Dave, you just struck a chord with me. I cannot tell you how much I hate some of the animated DC films. I watched Aquaman
Save the rage for I don't know.
You want to wait for? Yeah, if you want.
I think that could be a whole bonus thing too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
with everybody.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Animated possible bonus animated series DC animated movies.
Maybe that's DC and Marvel combined.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flashpoint and Under the Red Hood were dope.
Yeah, but the Flashpoint.
Sorry.
The Flashpoint was the Flashpoint under the Dark label.
It was just Justice League Flashpoint, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, because then they started doing this Justice League Dark label. I think there's like 3 of them. I don't like them. I'm not into them. I don't like the world they're crafting. But
I hate it.
I'm a big fan.
Why didn't you like Flashpoint or just
No.
I want to know.
Cool. I don't care. You can say it. No, it's fine because we can rehash it anyway. We'll rehash it on the bonus. I'm just saying,
Because they're trash. Because they're fucking trash. There's trash as the Aquaman movie, Throne of Atlantis. There's trash as Justice League Dark. There's trash. They're just bad. None of them are respectful.
Jensen Ackles is a great Red Hood.
Yes, he is. I will not deny that. I preferred him as the Red Hood. And I will say this, that Red Hood storyline in some ways is better than the original Paul Dini storyline. But still, fuck that universe.
Do you mean... Oh, yeah. It wasn't Paul Dini, it was... Shit, who was it? Judd Winnick. Under the Red Hood was Winnick, not Dini.
Which one are you talking about?
The Justice League, the show was the best, though. The animated show. Ooh, baby. That was some of the best shit ever.
Under the Red Hood, where Jason Todd came back to life as Red Hood, was written by Judd Winnick.
Oh, damn, you know what? The screenplay is done by Judd Winnick, too. Crazy.
Fuck.
I feel like the movie just sort of trimmed a lot of the sort of deep comic canon stuff with it just sort of tidied up a bit, and
it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Good. That means you're wrong.
What has 100% Under the Red Hood? Under the Red Hood does? Wow. I didn't think it was that.
It's because it's a good movie.
It was not. No, it's not. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
A hundo, a crispy Benji. Let's see.
Flashpoint was also good.
Moving on to know what I don't like about the Flashpoint. I think the whole idea of the Flashpoint is Aquaman is a fuck. Get this fucking attitude, and like Wonder Woman and him like having their World War III. I'm like, dude, you guys are complete fucks.
Yeah, but it was a world without Superman. It was a world without hope.
Like I'm getting it, but it just shows you how weak Arthur is. Weak.
Yes.
Fucking punk
they
ass.
make him super weak. That artist also, I really don't like his art style. Not to mention the fact that
Cuba
for some
in the comics.
I didn't hear you.
In the comic,
you don't like the art style in the animated movie or comics?
The animated style
The
of
animated.
the movie. I
The
love
movie.
the
Yeah, I didn't like the movie.
comics.
I didn't like the movie art.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And they
terrible.
adopted that style for all of them.
Yeah,
like
I
all the
know.
subsequent
Yeah, I don't
ones.
like it.
Yeah, I know, and it's terrible. That's like one of my biggest beefs is the art style. It's so not. It's not. That's because whatever. Fuck them. Fuck them. All right, Donny Cates. Let's move on to it. Let's see what we got here. What are we in?
Okay.
We're in. What are we at?
About 2 hours, I think.
Yeah,
Little less than 2
154. Hour 54. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
So the one you feed, written by Donny Cates and
Don't
art
think because
by.
you shouted us out, Donnie, that we're gonna give you fucking grade A remarks on this, buddy. All right.
And art by Dylan Burnett.
Now
Are we not? Are we not praising this book?
No, I did like it. I was just fucking with it. I just wanted to
Who
leave him
wants
on the
to-
cliff. You know.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for retweeting us, Donny.
Yeah.
I think we got 2 followers from that. So
Yeah, you're the
thanks.
man. You're the man. You're the man, Donnie.
Who wants to recap this, or if you want me to?
I haven't
This-
read it, but I'm definitely interested to see how you
this
guys feel
is
about it.
this is just a.
You haven't
this
read
is-
it.
Mm-mm.
This is a world of. How do I put it? Like the world fell apart. Oh yeah, just one day. Imagine a world where just one day the sun goes down and like people just turn into monsters. Well, that shit happened. So for fucking years and years and years, this society tried to survive and they were just getting their ass beat. So eventually they all came as a collective and they were like, we're gonna build the most massive fucking colonization, like with the city behind the wall. We're gonna build the biggest wall ever been built. So they do this, and it's we're talking like I think we're like 500 years later or some shit. That's how long this shit has taken. Some shit
Yeah,
like
about that. I
Yeah,
think maybe more because it's going through time. It's like
it's fucking
1 year
crazy.
later, 2 years later,
1
3 years
year,
later, 10
30,
years.
50, 100
Then it's like
years.
150,
Holy shit.
350, and then it cuts to now. So I don't know how long it's actually been.
So pretty much, what we're left with in this story is the whole society now exists behind a fucking walled city, and
Yeah, where they've got a big.
they're having their like fucking commemorative fucking showcase where they take the young boy who's to be king and send him out into the wilderness, and the idea
I'll just add a few details. They've put like a massive man-made sun in the center of a city because it stops people turning.
It will never go dark. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And this,
They're basically werewolves, but for different kind. It's just sort of body horror type creatures.
Yeah, I would just werewolves.
Every time the sun sets, they turn into these creatures. So the city is called Helios, and it has a man-made sun in the center of it.
And
to stop everyone
so
turning.
the sun. Oh, and one of the coolest dialogues that you're dropped with in the very beginning is that we're told that there's 2 types of wolves: good wolves and bad wolves. And like bad wolves survive, and good wolves, well, they either become bad to survive or they die. So like it's a cool idea about like just type of person out there. So by the way we end on this one is it's pretty cool. The kid gets sent out of the walls, kind of like 300 Spartans. He's like, every Spartan has to go on his, it's been more than 30 years since the wolf in the winter cold, some shit like that. So yeah. So
he has to survive a day out in the wildlands.
No.
How long is it?
He has to survive a night.
Oh yeah,
big
Sorry.
fucking difference, buddy. So it's actually really dope. It was sweet, man. And then so it ends with the fact that he doesn't change. It turns dark, and he didn't turn into anything. He was still just a boy, and all these monsters
Hi
were
guys,
surrounding
this
him.
is Dave. He's into semantics.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, anyway, I can pick on somebody, right?
But yeah, it ends with him like surrounded by all these body horror creatures. And
pretty dope. It was actually really sweet.
Yeah, this is really good. There was a reference to God Country in this, and
I noticed.
Yeah,
I didn't read it, but I noticed one of the things about it.
Yeah, it's literally got a quote from God Country where it's like the sword's name, because of course it had a name, was Atom.
Yeah,
which that's in God Country.
It's even
word
cooler.
for word, apart from the sword's name.
Even cooler is he says, I didn't even know why the sword had a name at the time. He's like, but the day I did, I wish I didn't. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that's fucked up. So like, I can't wait to figure out the day he finds out why it's named that, because he said that's a fucked up day. I was like, that's sick. So it's pretty badass, dude. Already, the sword's like 4 times the kid's size. It's perfect.
I just wanted to say this really quick. The only reason I didn't read this is not because of the art or the writer. I love Donny Cates, and I'm really digging on this art. My shop sold out. and I can't even find it on eBay. This is obviously going to be a big.
It's not physical.
It's not.
It was released on Panel Syndicate online, so there's no physical release for it. It's only digital.
Boo.
I'm a ding dong.
I know. I
Yeah.
kind of hope that it goes physical because I would actually buy this guy and start this.
Yeah,
bad boy.
Image have sort of republished some Panel Syndicate stuff before.
They went
So-
lame.
Yeah, Panel Syndicate's basically a website where the comic creators get 100% of the profits.
Okay.
Brian K. Vaughan sort of spearheaded it, and
Okay, that makes sense. That
Creates
makes
it
me
with-
feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it gives them the credit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah, they
We'll
get
let
100% of the
you
profit
slide.
split between them. Brian K. Vaughan's done some stuff. Ed Brubaker's done some stuff on there as well.
All right. So it's cool. I'm gonna keep reading it. You did good,
Yeah, I think
Donnie.
it's really good.
You did good, Donnie. You know. So
You're doing good.
I'm gonna keep reading your
Why
shit.
did my shop tell me that we sold
Start
out? That's
Spider-Man.
weird.
Start Spider-Man, Donnie. And that way I can start on a nice friendly neighborhood Spider-Man #1.
God,
That'd be dope.
the day that he signs up for Spider-Man, and he will do Spider-Man. God damn it!
This.
By the way,
He will. I'll make it happen.
I'll
fucking make it
I'll
happen.
will it into fucking conspiracy truths. You know, I'll make
So-
that shit exist. You know,
You want to know why I like Donny Cates so much? Of like the reasons to enjoy him.
he's got cool hair. He dyes a blonde.
Yes,
Pretty
but that's the other. There's another reason.
cool.
His two primary characters from Marvel and DC are my same favorites: Green Lantern and Spider-Man. And I'm just like, of course he has great taste. Mwah, of course.
I think mine is Batman. If I had to go between, I think Batman is
I
just
respect that.
he's untouchable.
I respect that.
Even the
respect that.
writers say there's like writers that say like Batman is untouchable because we write him that way, and I'm like, yeah, that's why he's the best because he's like not allowed to fail. He's like written to never fail. I'm like, yeah, I know that that's why he's the best. He's just dope that way.
You're just saying Batman. Donny Cates has said he's got a 5-year plan for Batman when
I
he moves
know.
over to
Whenever
DC.
that happens, my fucking
That's not
butthole's
true.
gonna
Come
hang like
on.
a sleeve.
He said
Crazy.
that in an
When did he say
interview.
that?
I'll find it now and send it to you.
All right, but for
Oh,
now, I'm
read
gonna
that.
move over to Wonder Woman 765. This is my official drop Wonder Woman. I just put it out there. I'm over
Same.
you.
Ooh.
I'm off. But I really like the artist in the very beginning of this run, of this
Yeah,
like,
Yanin.
and then it changed real quick after like 2 or 3 into another style, which I actually was kind of like caught off guard, but then I really liked it too.
Yeah, Mikhail
And-
Hanin does great work.
And now I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't care. I don't care about their stupid Hotline Miami storyline they want to fucking tell. I'm over you. Damn you, Wonder Woman. Nah, it was cool. I know that they're just trying to write filler shit for now, and that's how it feels, so I'm over it. We'll see what happens in her future.
What was this issue? Let me call it
I
out.
don't even know. It's about, like-
Yeah, so Wonder Woman 765, written by Mariko Tamaki and art by Steve Pugh. And this was... I can't even remember the story. I'm scrolling through it now. I don't remember
yeah,
any
it's
of it.
cool.
This
Fuck it.
was a comic book.
We're done. We're done
Yeah,
with you,
of
Wonder
all the
Woman.
comic books this week, it was one of them.
That's what you get.
This was better than the last issue, but still, it's not doing anything
Oh, shit.
super interesting, which is a shame because I've heard good stuff about Tamaki.
Yeah,
And-
but anybody who's writing for this character right now already knows they're in a tough spot. You're writing like a bullshit 3-off story, just trying to figure out when this fucking death metal's ending and all this other shit to make for something new. So like, I get it. It's not the best, healthiest place
Oh
to
yeah,
write.
they invade Flatava, the kingdom of Count Vertigo.
Yeah, I did really hate it. Actually, I hated it. You know what? I fucking hated it. This story, I've been reading the Wonder Woman since, what was it? When did we start, Sean? 760, 759.
Seven, yeah, something around there.
And every time I read it, I was like, by the end of it, I was like, well, that was kind of fun. I'm going to keep reading it. I'm over that. Last 2, no, they've not been fun at all. No.
Yeah, the first few issues were so good, and it's
Liar
just dropped
Liar
off
story
so
was nice. It
drastically.
was fun. That was a good, fun story. But this, nope, not reading it. That's my rating. Not reading. Done with you, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm dropping
But I
it.
do hope in the future you get a better, something. And I liked your art in the beginning better than I like your art now.
I'm immensely like disheartened by the amount of times that Wonder Woman gets the shit end of the stick, and I don't really get why. Because sometimes she'll have great creative teams. You get Greg Rucka, then you get Nicola Scott, and
Greg Rucka stuff is great. I want to go back and read his original run.
I have not actually ever read his original run, and I really want to know.
Me and Dave are checking out the Hecate in a few weeks if you want to join in.
Yeah, the collected edition
Okay,
comes
let's
out
do
next
it.
week. I think I'm gonna buy it. I think it comes out next week. I'll buy it. I had that on my list anyway. It looked dope.
I'm actually just like quick backstory with me with. I'm frustrated with it, especially because like Wonder Woman is one of those characters that, like, for people like me, you know, there's a lot of representation there because she's like a pansexual person, which typically doesn't really like I don't really give a shit about. But when you hyper accentuate it with, well, maybe not hyper, but you accentuate it with conversations like she had with Hades during the Brian Azzarello run, there was a moment there where you're just like, wow, this really speaks to me. And in a way, she's almost like Superman in that way, you know, in the really taking the moral high ground very often and kind of coming at conflict with how much she wants to be a loving, kind hero. But I feel like there's too many people who always end up hopping on there and then something happens. Like, okay, I don't know about how you guys felt about Wonder Woman Dead Earth, but
I still need to read it.
Haven't read it yet either.
it was great art. There's no part of me that says that it was a fantastic artistic endeavor. I don't necessarily know that I agree that it captured the essence of a lot of who Wonder Woman is, in my opinion, because I feel like that Greg Rucka run with Year One, to me, is one of those examples of this is who she is. You know,
Year One was great.
Man, Nicola Scott, dude, doing that artwork was the stuff that I didn't know I needed in my life. And now I'm such a huge fan of Nicola Scott, and I just want her to do everything.
She's great.
Yeah,
That's why I want to check out Black Magic. More for her art than Rucka's writing.
I really okay.
I love Rucka's writing. But her art's the selling point there for me.
Sure, Greg
especially
Rucka,
as
honestly,
you color.
Yeah, Greg Rucka has become one of my top 5 writers because of that Wonder Woman run.
I've not read a lot by him, but
I'll give you some recommendations. But I am really sad to hear that Wonder Woman is kind of falling off for you guys because I actually was enjoying hearing you guys talk about it. I haven't been collecting for a minute, but
I was enjoying it. Yeah, I was enjoying it.
Yeah,
too.
and the last sort of run Wonder Woman had, where it started off with G. Willow Wilson, who created Ms. Marvel, or the new one, the Camilla Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that her name? Yeah, she created her, and like her run started off really strong, and then she left Wonder Woman halfway through an arc to go and write Sandman, and Steve Orlando took over Wonder Woman.
What do you
mean
just Sandman? Like Sandman, Neil Gaiman?
The Waking Hours.
Okay.
Yeah, the new miniseries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she hopped off halfway through an arc of Wonder Woman.
I'm collecting it right
now. And Steve Orlando took over and carried on the story, and I just lost all interest.
You know what? I'm sorry. I think that it's not that G. Willow Wilson invented Kamala Khan. I think it's that Kelly Sue DeConnick invented Kamala Khan, and then G. Willow Wilson took over that issue 1 Miss Marvel and then popularized it. Yeah. No, she's a great writer. There's no part of me that would say that she's not.
Wonder Woman stuff was really, really good. Really did some good stuff in mythology. It was really interesting. I mean, she just topped off halfway through an arc. And it's like, you could have at least stayed on to wrap it up in a somewhat satisfying conclusion instead of giving it to Steve Orlando.
Yeah. I think the obvious choice, I mean, we all agree, right? We all understand who needs to write Wonder Woman, right? Like, we're all in agreement that Kelly Sue DeConnick needs to write Wonder Woman at some point.
Frank Miller needs to write Wonder Woman, okay? Come on.
Alan Moore.
Actually, I know.
He has written her a little bit with Dark Knight Returns stuff.
Right. All right. Let's move over to Shang-Chi #2. This one I can run down. It's cool. This is a 5-issue mini. It kind of honestly, it's cool, but it seems like it's just gonna wrap.
Written by Jean Lun Yang.
I have a feeling it might just kind of walk itself into its own.
Yeah,
like
Yang's great.
It's last issue we just found out that like the main bad is sisters to Shang-Chi. So this issue kind of lets us know how deep their scars go, and you pretty much find out that like Shang-Chi and his sister were together with the leader of the Hand, or no, it's not the Hand though. It's I forget what the big organization's called. They're called the something of the Blade or something.
Oh God, I don't remember.
Can't remember. But while you're Yeah, they're fucking whatever their clan's called. And then so you find out that like
The Clan of the Fiery Fist, was that it? No,
yeah,
that's Firepower.
Jesus.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. So
I'm terrible with
the
his names.
sister was pretty much ripped from their family and given a new life, but she was given to the Hammer clan. So this is really just a story of like a vengeful sister who feels like she had always been in the shadow of Shang-Chi. So the way it ends is the sister gets a hold of Shang-Chi, tries to kill him, doesn't kill him. Shang-Chi, like, I don't know, got injected with something, or I forget, he was getting his
ate
soul
his food
sucked from
was
him. He was getting his soul sucked from him, right? He's getting like his life force sucked out of him, and then he fucking broke out, and he's bleeding a fucking universe out of his chest. I don't know. It's cool though. So wherever we're
Say
at,
suck 5
Yeah.
more times.
yeah,
He got poisoned. His food was poisoned, and he passed out. They think he's dying.
and now he's bleeding universal blood out of his chest, and he sees his father's, which is cool. So he's gonna go talk to his dead father, which is it's pretty cool. It's neat. It's just I don't know how else you recap that. That's what happened.
Mm.
He learned that his sister's still alive. They got to have a talk. They got to have but it turns out that's not enough for the sister. The sister is a vengeful bitch, and she wants to kill Shang-Chi because Shang-Chi was actually the chosen one, not her. So it's good. It's good. I'm gonna keep reading it.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's 5 issues, and it's
Yeah.
it's
I don't
fun.
think there was anything so far that was like super special about this at all. But it's good. Like it's moving. It's a Shang-Chi story, which is cool. I wonder like what it's getting at. Is he gonna be the leader?
I really recommend you guys checking out Superman Smashes the Clan by Gene Lun Yang, because that is really good.
This is the same writer, right? You said.
Yeah, same writer as this.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's based on a radio story from the 40s where Superman fights the KKK,
This is
and it sort of readapts it, and it's really good. It's like set in the 40s with Superman from the point of view of like a I can't remember if they're Korean. I think they're Korean, but like this family has just moved into the neighborhood and are the victims of race crimes.
so.
And it's really powerful. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep reading it. I think it's decent, but nothing special so far.
Keeping reading this. Yeah,
Going
it's a
over-
5-issue mini, and it's fun enough.
Yeah, 5 issues. You tell me something like that, I'm probably gonna read all 5. That's the thing. Like, if more artists did these 5s, these 3s, these 4s, like I'll probably end up buying all 4, even if it's just 4, dude. What's it?
Yeah, every character doesn't need an ongoing all the time.
No, yeah.
Do some books as miniseries.
It takes away. But moving on to
ongoing all the time.
Wynd number 5.
Wynd number 5. This was an incredible book.
Yeah, let Shawnee Boy go.
So
we've
had
red cheeked about
Wynd, the Prince. I'm not so good with the names. It's Prince Yorick, is it?
Yeah.
And what's the gardener's name?
Gardener Boy.
Did you say Yorick? Is that
I can't remember his name.
Yorik, I think.
His name must have
been
like.
If that's the case, then yes, it's Yorick, because that's the name of one of the characters from the Shakespearean story, which is an old English name.
Okay.
It's also the name of a character from Why the Last Man.
I don't know his name. I know they said it, I think.
Oh yeah, the main character is Yorick, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and
I need to read
Yorick. My favorite, easily my favorite comic of all time. So that's why I know that.
I need to go back and read it. That was the first big run I read when I got into comics.
Go ahead and
I need to reread it. Anyway, Wynd.
Well, give us whatever pieces you want, and then.
Yeah. So the story has been, in this land, like magic people are frowned upon. They are second. Is Dave alive?
Yeah. Sorry, I took a big yawn. That was
just
like
checking you didn't have a heart attack, and
the biggest yawn ever. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So in this land, like magic beings are seen as a plague, a blight on humanity, and they are eliminated. So Wynd is a little magic creature who has been able to hide his magic, because the only sort of discerning feature he has is pointed ears, so he just keeps covered. But he has had to escape from Pipetown with the prince, the gardener, and his best friend to escape from the bandaged man who is hunting magical creatures. And they are heading to a town called Northport, which is safe for magic people. And yeah, so the last issue ended with Wynd running away from the group to try and lure the bandaged man away from them. And this issue follows, and it starts with Prince Yorick sort of having a bit of breakdown, and he really shows some emotion here, where he realizes the levity of the situation they're in. And even the gardener calls him out for being a bit of a shit. Because he's referring to a character like the moody girl, the fat lady, and he's like, the reason people don't like you is because you don't even bother to learn their name. And you really sort of see it like hitting him that, holy shit, like, I need to be better. But yeah, we have the bandaged man hunting.
Maybe I shouldn't call them fat girl. That's funny.
We have the bandaged man following Wynd, and he comes to this little clearing and sits down on a tree, and he's like, show yourself. And the bandaged man takes his bandages off, and he is a vampire.
Bum bum bum.
And he doesn't care who he kills. He just does the job that he's paid to do.
He's a puss boy. He's like Samuel L. Jackson in the fucking Django. He's like, yeah, I'll work for the man as long as I don't get fucking worked on. You know what I mean? Like, what a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So he's just willing to keep the cycle going because that's the cycle of which he lives. I'm like, oh fuck. So it was actually really cool. It was cool though that he sat down and talked to him. I liked the conversation.
Yeah, and the aesthetic for the vampire is really cool because he does have a face sort of like a bat.
Yes.
He looks like Man-Bat from Batman.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And he looks like bandaged. He looks like Hush from
when he's bandaged up, he looks like Hush.
He looks like this really cool cartoon version of Hush. You know what I mean? Like just drawn in this world, which is really cool.
But yeah, the bandaged man finds out about the fairy that's transporting them, and he gets his archers to shoot her out of the sky. And
fucking gets her.
Yeah, the bandaged man then goes and attacks the prince and the gardener. And while this is happening, Wynd goes to the Spritles, these little magical creatures that live in the forest, to ask for help. And they basically swarm him, and we see him get sort of, not devoured, but like, they all swarm him and cover him. And we see him scream, and then cuts back to the bandaged man with the prince and the gardener. And he straight up just throws the gardener off the cliff. And then we turn the page, and Wynd has grown wings because his magic has been unleashed, and he catches the gardener. And when they're trying to get away, the bandaged man gets kicked off the cliff, and he falls, and his bandage undo, and he sets on fire in the sunlight. And he's also impaled on a massive rock.
Yeah, he got.
And we get. We get to the end where the characters get to the ship and they're sort of safely reunited. And we have like a nice moment where the prince sort of knows people's names and he's being quite nice and sort of apologising for being a shit.
Yep. And then they all have dinner together.
Yeah, and they're setting off for Northport. And at the end we have this like nice little epilogue where Wynd dreams of flying.
Yeah,
which
not having nightmares
parallels
anymore.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the series, the first issue opens up with him having a nightmare about his magic hurting the people he cares about. But now he's dreaming about flying the skies.
I would take more cartoony, lighthearted, dark stories. It's funny. It's like lighthearted, but it's dark. You know?
Yeah, it's like a really heavy story, but sort of aimed at kids a little bit, dealing with like genocide and some fucking heavy topics, but told in a kid-friendly way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a great issue, great end to the first arc, and I cannot wait until May when it comes back. Tynan, you are incredible.
Yeah, retweet us, asshole. No, I'm sorry.
The artist of Wynd did like a tweet the other day.
Oh,
I posted.
Thank you, because your art is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I dig it. I love that.
The cover for this week's issue is incredible.
Is he the colorist as well? Yeah, that's a dope cover.
Does he do the colours? Yeah, he does the colours as well.
Well, you're killing it, buddy. Pat yourself on the back. Unless you got little tiny arms. And you can't do that then. Have somebody else do it for you. So dope.
Yeah,
Number 5. Going on a break, but I love it, and I will keep reading it when it comes back.
Yep.
Real good. Real dope art. Pulls at your heartstrings.
Really good.
Got a nice friend story adventure, you know, it's cool. But that one little, like, you know, it's like all your friends, you got 4 friends, you're all going on an adventure. There's always that one kid who's like, well, I don't want to fucking participate. And you're like, well, you're a little fucker. You're going to fucking help us, buddy. You know, so that's kind of like the prince. He's like the guy who doesn't want to participate, you know. you're gonna stop calling me fatty, and you're gonna learn my goddamn name. You know, so it's pretty funny. I dig it. But moving on, nonetheless.
Yep, Bliss number 4, written by Sean Lewis and art by Caitlin Yarsky.
So this one just continues from where it left off last time with the father showing up to the grandma's house with a gun. It's pretty dope. It's cool. So this whole issue is just about how the father tried to get clean. He went to the house with the gun. He was going to kill the mom, but he couldn't kill the mom. So then he gets hit over the head with a frying pan, and he tries to get clean off of the Bliss, but at the end of the day, he can't do it. So then
they make him go cold turkey.
Yeah, they make him go cold turkey, so he looks like he's just like a dope fiend trying to come off some shit from like what's that movie called? What's that movie with Ewan McGregor?
Trainspotting.
Yeah, Trainspotting. They try to give him the old Trainspotting treatment.
What, the heroin in the butthole?
No, to come off of it cold turkey. So he's like going like crazy with it.
You're telling me in this comic book there's heroin in a butthole?
No, that would be that. It would fit the story though, most likely. You know.
Oh, you're saying that there's like when he's coming down and then he sees the baby climbing the ceiling.
Yeah, when he's coming down. Yeah,
okay.
he kind of goes through one of those, I guess. But
so
like,
no heroin butthole.
No heroin in the butthole just yet. I wouldn't rule it out though.
Lost interest.
Yeah,
there's 4 issues left with the.
Yep.
Later.
So then it cuts to his father. It cuts to his father in jail, and pretty much this is where it's starting to get weird, and I'm kind of getting lost, but not really.
Yeah,
but
we get an appearance from his father in present day.
Yeah,
first
father's in jail, and like so then all of a sudden this bird comes through, and the bird tries to talk to him, and the dad's like, "Take me to your fucking goddess." So he takes it to the goddess, and he comes riding in on some fucking raven, and then he pretty much it ends with him like gonna kill the goddess. That's like we're pretty much at a face-off right now in issue 4, or issue 5 is gonna be the dad and the goddess kind of having words or some shit. I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's brilliant. Like I love the end where like the little like servants come in and they're like, mistress, he overpowered your bird.
Yeah.
He's on his way here. And she's like, what do you think he says to him? And like it cuts to him like stood on top of a massive raven with holding like the reins, like surfing it, and he's like, Leak, let's dance.
Yeah.
And it's just so badass.
That's like like the Punisher at the end of season 2. He's like, any of yous want to dance?
Then he just straight up jumps off of it and like skydives into the fucking...
So it got pretty. That was almost like a fantasy scene, like hilarious.
Yeah, this book is great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I really recommend picking up.
It's
in the description for the first issue, it was described as Sandman meets Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I can feel those vibes.
So good. Yeah,
definitely gonna keep reading. Gonna see what happens. I have no idea what's gonna happen next.
It's such a crazy book, but I'm loving it.
And then I guess we have Wonder Woman, Black Widow, just to go over the rest of Sam
TMNT.
Work. Oh,
Ronin.
Okay. Yeah, TMNT. Yep, TMNT, The Last Ronin, number 1.
Written by Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, and Tom Waltz, and art by Esau and Isaac Escorza.
Okay, cool. Spoilers: you find out that The Last Ronin is Michelangelo, which is dope. Which is really cool. When I first read it, I know I was talking to Sean last night. For some reason, I read the sentence like it was. She was wondering. I don't know. I like dyslexic. I'm incredibly dyslexic, so fuck it. But anyway, it's really cool. So this whole issue is pretty much him going on a final Michelangelo, who you don't know, talking to himself, even though you keep seeing like the turtles in the background, which is pretty dope. So they're not really there. It's like he's talking.
Yeah, they're like they're talking to him.
It's like he's having a mental health fucking crisis right now. He's lost all his brothers and he's losing it. So in order to get revenge, he's gonna go fucking slay Hiro Haratakataki. No, sorry, I don't remember his name. He had some kind of like some name that sounded like that. So whoever the bad guy is. Anyway, it was dope because he goes through all this shit. He's kicking robot ass, all this fucking shit, only to come up short. And he falls from the tower. He's like climbing all the way to the top of the tower of this building. You know, he's like, the boss is always at the top. And he falls from there, and he just goes through like the cycle, and he ends up in the sewer, I'm pretty sure. And down there, he says like, he's like, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out on my terms. So he's ready to suicide him.
He's
Yeah.
about to commit seppuku.
Yeah,
He's got Leonardo's sword, and he's about to.
and his sword's broken too, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
just something I mentioned that's quite cool is he's got all the ninja. He's got all the ninjas'
yeah,
weapons.
he has every weapon. He has all of them. That's why it was a cool issue to figure out who it was.
Yeah, because you
who's-
didn't really know who it was.
I expected it to be Raphael, but it's a
Same.
little more fitting that it's the youngest one who survived because I think that's going to
I
hit
really
the
like
hardest.
that.
Yeah, I think that's going to hit the hardest.
Raphael's a bit too obvious.
Yeah. Even though he also seems like, he's like obvious because it seems like he's the only one that should be in the position, but I think this one's more appropriate. This is going to fit way better.
Yeah, because now we're wondering how was Michelangelo broken this
how
much?
How many of his brothers stepped in front of the sword for him to live? That's what you wonder. We don't know, like, whether Raphael stepped in front of the blade so Michelangelo wouldn't die. You don't know.
As
cool.
well as all the weapons, he's also got their bandanas.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And he lays them all out in front of him when he's about to kill himself.
Yeah, it was a total, like, I forget what that's called. That suicide ritual is called. I can't remember.
Seppuku.
Yeah, that's it. So it's pretty sweet. But he ends up, like, passing out from the blood loss, which was sick. He was very Batman in this issue, is what I felt. I felt like he was very Batman.
It was Dark Knight Returns meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was. The art. So, from my understanding, the people doing this book are the same crew who are working on the ongoing. Oh yeah.
Oh no, this was made by the creators of TMNT.
No. This story was written in 1980 or some shit by them. But I'm saying this is not the current crew who's on the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now.
Give me a second to find out.
Because there's an ongoing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story, and the artwork, I'm pretty sure I thought it's the same guy. It looks like the same style artwork in the ongoing.
I haven't been reading it, so I don't know.
My point is, if that is true, then it would be cool to kind of hop on the ongoing, because I actually really like this gritty style of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Very gritty. And I heard that the ongoing is pretty gritty too. So they're on like volume 11.
Yeah, they are writing the ongoing as well.
Yeah,
or at least one of them is.
So this story was actually written in 1980 and it was thrown away. And then, like, the story for this goes like 50 years later they found it in a thrown away bin, and they're like, whoa, this fucking story rocks. So they decided to do it. So it's cool. This was written a long time ago.
This is fucking dark.
Yeah,
it is a dark issue, and it is really so good. Like, I've never read any TMNT. I haven't even watched the movies. I watched the cartoon when I was a kid of them.
Yeah, I've only seen the cartoons.
This is
and Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've seen that too. But
this is like my first sort of real exposure to TMNT, and it was great.
Yeah, the animated show, and that's pretty much it. But I watched that pretty hard. I haven't seen any of the movies. I refuse to watch them.
No,
they look terrible. Watch that fucking crap. Not to be rude, but fuck that shit.
The story is basically old man Michelangelo.
Yeah, and this
like
is this is like a self-told story, self-contained story. So you don't actually need to know anything besides. It would just help to know that
a general idea
that the Teenage Mutant Turtles are people who were turned into turtles, and that, like, Michelangelo's the youngest. That would help, for you to understand the severity of the situation. So yeah, I loved it. I thought it was sick. My one beef is that it's printed on a little bigger book. It's almost printed on this. It has like a binding or something to it too.
Oh, square bound.
Yeah, it's too big for a fucking thing. I can't put it in a sleeve. I can't put it in a fucking bag and board.
Get a Silver Age one.
I know. I gotta get it. Style. Yeah, I gotta get. Yeah, I gotta buy another box. So really cool.
You didn't have that complaint about 3 Jokers being square bound.
Well, they all came in. They all came in there. They were already bagged and board, so I didn't have to bitch about it.
I was able to get my 3 Jokers into the modern size. It was just a little tight.
Fit. Yeah. And I think that's probably only a little tight too, because it's like 60 pages or whatever. It's a little like fat.
Silver Age bugs me. They're too loose.
Yeah, they're too loose. I don't like that shit. It bothers me. Let's see. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm glad you read it, Sean, because like I know I was shouting.
I wasn't going to, but
like 2 months ago. It just sounds like a really cool story. So we just have this Elseworld tale of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where there's only one left, and now we get to find out it's Michelangelo, which I think it's really going to help the story go a lot farther than what I was expecting. So really cool and really dark, and exactly what I think they needed. Now, definitely. That being said, I might pick up the hardcovers, get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we'll see. Depending on how this ends, will really decide. If it ends like baller, I'm gonna be like, damn, now I gotta learn all these characters again. Fuck. All right, cool. So what's left? Black Widow. That was it.
Yeah, Black Widow 7-12 by Mark Waid and Chris Samney.
This was just my welcome to Dave's Collected Corner, collected
And
edition
Sean's.
corner. Yeah, and Sean's.
I'm here too.
But I like to go around and buy collected editions because I'm really catching up on comics. You know, there's just such a wide fucking array of comics from the past. So I buy all these collected editions and put them on my shelves, and then I try to read like one a week or something, depending on how big it is. So this is
the second half of our
this is the second half of the Black Widow Mark Waid 2016 run. I finished it on Monday. It was dope. Yeah, so wrapped up really nicely. I just want to shout out. I guess. Well, what do I want to tell this? I don't want to really give. If it's a collected edition, I'd probably rather not give the whole story away. But this was pretty much just like Black Widow reevaluating or kind of getting tossed.
It goes
back
into
into her
origin with the Black Room.
And like somebody's the Red Room, and then somebody's recreated it with the Dark Room, and they're making a new breed of little widows. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what was going on. So she was kind of going AWOL to figure out she had to get her shit straight. It had a really good ending and everything. The art is just phenomenal. Yeah. I'm a huge fan.
Chris Samney is incredible.
Yeah, I don't know.
His layout, his sequential storytelling is great.
He made her get her. I'm a huge fan of the first Lara Croft game, and I think the second one too. I didn't play the final Lara Croft game that came out.
The recent ones.
Yeah, I didn't play the final one.
Yeah. I haven't played the final one, but I played the
first two. Dude, they do a good job kicking the living shit out of her. She gets her ass beat. It's crazy. So I think in this one, she gets her. Yeah. Chris Samney. I mean, she's got like glass stuck in her eye and shit. I'm like, holy fuck. So it's really cool. It was really.
Chris Samney is a master.
Yeah, total master.
He is.
Total master.
I want him on a Batman book, Black Label Batman with Chris Samney.
And I want it to be all black, like every roomie, like because like he's so heavy with the blacks that like he could do such a good noir, whatever, back alley, everything, every room.
Did you see his picture of Jason Todd dying, or like the? Give me a second.
Was that on his Instagram?
Yeah, it was recent.
Send her over. So I really liked it. I thought it was dope. So I'm gonna give the Black Widow Mark Waid run collected edition. That's tough. I liked it. I'll give it a 4.5. I thought it was really good. I thought it was awesome. I thought from the beginning.
I'll give it a 4. I'd say.
Yeah, it just super fast paced, fucking quick. It was fucking fast, I mean, Nick Fury was like some kind of fucking ancient being on the moon. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, he was a watcher.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, how can you watch? He's only got one eye.
Yeah, no, I remember that's happened in.
He said in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but I didn't read that. So in this one, I was like, "Oh shit, this is that Watu the Watcher, fucking Nick Fury you were talking about."
So what happened was Original Sin happened, and then he ended up taking over on the moon. He's been on there ever since. The most recent issue of Fantastic Four has him stepping down from that now.
To being a regular black man again.
No, he's an old white man. Original Nick Fury.
So is he stepping down to being an old white man again then?
Yes. He's going to be a warrior for Uatu.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Look at the picture I just sent to the chat.
Well, I don't know.
It's just Chris Samney. Batman. It just looks so good.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
The feels.
But
you can see Batman's crying. There's tears coming out of his mouth. Not out of his mouth, out of his eyes.
I also cry out of my mouth.
Yes. I pee out.
Oh god, sorry, no, too easy. Too easy.
Is it South Park where they shit out their mouth?
Yeah.
Yes. Black Nick Fury was Ultimate Nick Fury.
Yeah, but I would be totally comfortable if they just moved them over and just said, whatever. I'm fine with it. I don't really care. I like him as a black guy better anyway, for some reason.
I mentioned this before. So there is an Ultimate version still, but the new Black Nick Fury that exists is his air quotes son.
And he's
And
Nicholas.
we kind of talked about how he has those life model decoys that have been taking over for him for years, and he's actually like 80 or 90 years old. He's dirt old. He's dirt old.
They all
New
look like
Black.
Samuel L. Jackson.
There's only one that's black, and it's actually just his son. And there's like a backstory issue that happened with that to kind of clarify it. It was a weird thing to do, but it works.
So let's see. Now that that's done, do we want to go over what our polls are for next week so we know?
Should we just say, is there anything anyone else read this week I want to talk about?
Oh, of course.
I want to gush over Inkblot, if I may.
Sure.
You may.
Inkblot is absolutely fantastic. I really think you guys should pick it up. It's just so
I'm gonna pick it
fun.
up.
I'm going to as well.
Yeah, but-
I've got the first issue. I need to get a second one.
Yeah,
but-
so I guess since I'm gonna gush, we should do this proper, right?
Yeesh.
Written and art both by Emma Kubert and Rusty Glad. So
Rusty
Golden tabs. I'm proud of you.
Rusty Glad,
Mhm.
or is it Glade? I don't know. There's two D's in it. That's Glad to me.
Glad to.
No, it's fun and it's quirky because there's a lot of backstory that they did in the first issue about this. Just quick overview. Sorceress, she has a big magic family, and they've all gone to different realms to kind of learn, but also conquer. And I think she's like the 9th or 10th child of the family. It's a very large family, and some are just like absolute psycho conquerors. But she's basically the family librarian, called a seeker. So she just writes down the history and the magics and everything. And she accidentally makes a magical cat by spilling her magic ink while she's writing. She falls asleep, knocks it over, and this cat just kind of runs around and can bend reality. So it starts traveling to all these different realms. And it's so simple and it's so fun because when you meet the characters, there's a story there, but then the cat comes in and just does silly cat things. And it just totally bends what's going on, especially in issue 2 with the dragon. Absolutely hilarious.
I want to read this now.
I want to go. I was gonna get it physical, and then the guy at my shop didn't have it. Kind of forgot about it.
It's just so funny.
I want to see.
It's definitely one I'm going to check out.
recommend it.
I'll try and catch out. I'll try and catch up for next issue.
Issue 3 is coming out this week.
Okay, I might not be able to catch up for that.
Yeah,
Let's
so
see.
it definitely just started. It's still
What
pretty
is it?
easy to
What
get.
is it? Is it an ongoing? Is it an 8?
Yeah. I'm not sure how long they've pushed out. They're showing 5 on Image's website. For right now, so I'm not sure how many it's going to be. I can't imagine it being too long, but it's just so fun. Like, if you know somebody that's not a big comic reader and doesn't want like heavy story,
Dude,
this is the one to go.
The cover of number 1 is like a gateway with a bunch of books, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
He spawns in the library.
Have you ever seen The Page Master?
Of course.
That kind of reminds me of that. It's fucking sick.
But it's just so funny. It's so quirky.
Damn,
I don't want to ruin issue. I don't want to ruin issue 2, but like there's a story in issue 2, with the dragon that's on the cover, and everybody's like all serious, and the cat comes in and just does something really silly, and then everybody's like, "We're gonna follow the cat, more or less."
Okay.
It's just quirky things like that. It's like, oh, big magical history and whatnot, and then this magical cat just comes walking in.
I'm surprised Amazon hasn't taken up the comic market, like, by just going ham sandwich,
They have Comixology.
Yeah, but that's online. That's digital. I'm saying I'm just surprised they haven't just made their book market, the way they do that.
Nah, they'll stay digital.
But
yeah, no, I'm excited for Inkblot. It's just such a fun little easy read. Art and color is beautiful.
Has this author done anything else?
What has she done? She is just reading her bio on Image really quick. She's freelanced for DC, Dynamite, 20th Century Fox, and Image Comics. She She recently did DC Superhero Girls and Teen Titans Go.
Ooh, DC Superhero Girls. I have that. Midterms, baby.
And she did the layouts for the young adult graphic novel Raven. So she's pretty like fresh to it, but she's third generation.
Yeah, because I've got like her League of Comics profile up now, and she really hasn't done a lot.
Yeah, well, she just graduated from her grandfather's school in 2018.
Okay.
She was the one I mentioned before. Her grandfather did like Green Lantern and things like that for like early DC.
I can't pull up.
And then he started this. And then he started the art school, the Kubert School of Art.
Oh, she is related to Kubert.
Yeah, she's the granddaughter.
Ty looks very impressed. He's going to pick this up now and have a wank.
And Dave just got his head down.
Wank. Wow.
A wank.
God. That's one of the more
How
British
British
things
is
I've ever heard you say.
And
That's what it's called.
Rusty has done. He's new as well. He graduated the same year as Emma.
Okay.
So he's done DC stuff. So yeah, it sounds like his accolades are even newer than hers. So they're both very new to the scene. But obviously, there's a bit of there's history and knowledge there. But I mean, this is just so quirky and so fun. Like I said, if you have somebody that's like not really into comics, but you can be like, hey, read this one. It's about a magical black cat.
So sorry, off topic. David Gibbons also did the Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow artwork. Fuck.
I have it
He
right here.
did. I read it earlier.
Fuck me. I'm looking up Gibbons shit. What's Gibbons' most recent work?
He did Kingsman, didn't he? Jeez, that looks nice. That's for the man who has everything. He did that one, yeah.
Oh yeah.
For the man who has everything was.
I'm just trying to find that. I need
Kurt's
that
one,
Watchmen feeling.
Yeah, see? Gibbons more.
Yeah, but who did for the man who has everything? No, that was Whatever Happened to Man of Tomorrow. That was Kurt's one, wasn't it?
Oh shit. So we have I got some polls.
Wait, I want to talk about something else I read this week as well.
Oh sure, yeah, go on.
So I've got some big news. I'm a big Flash fan, but after this week's issue, I am dropping it because it's terrible.
Terrible.
Speak, didn't you?
Terrible.
I read the most recent issue, which came out this week, Flash 764, and it's really not good. And
that's unfortunate.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea to give this writer the book, because I've got all his writing credits up in front of me right now, and I'm just going to read them out to you, and you tell me if you think this person is qualified to write The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
So he's written 2 issues of Amazing Spider.
Hang on, before we get into that really quick, I don't. We don't all speak for Sean. Sean's a hater, so go ahead.
Sean is very particular in his taste.
I'm just saying, do you think someone who's written what I'm about to read out to you is qualified to write a Flash book?
And let me just follow that up by saying,
biggest.
Just let me follow up by saying I'm not a huge DC person, so I'm probably the least qualified to throw my hat into this ring.
But Flash has a TV show. You know he's a big character.
Mm-hmm.
He should be getting A-list talent. Okay, so his name is Kevin Shinek. He has written 2 issues of Avenging Spider-Man, 3 issues of Hobgoblin, 1 issue of Joker's Asylum, 5 issues of Superior Carnage, 4 issues of Spider-Man Team Up, and 2 issues of Web of Spider-Man.
I think Dave's face just sums it all up.
That's everything in the last 10 years he's ever written.
That's not much.
And now he's taken over Flash.
He doesn't have like much of a.
And those are, I mean, besides like Web of Spider-Man and like Superior Spider-Man, those are just like kind of, like side story stuff.
Yeah, just filler nonsense. Hobgoblin.
I mean,
in this issue, Flash fights Dr. Alchemy, and it's just not well written. So I'm dropping Flash for the first time in 4 years.
He broke his addiction, boys. They broke his addiction.
I'm clean.
He's clean. Cold turkey. Cold turkey.
I'm starting to shake.
I'm surprised you're not lighting that issue on fire right now, the way that you're talking about it.
Well, I don't.
I will give it one thing. It was better than the previous issue written by the same writer, but still utter garbage.
Will you at least thumb through and read a couple pages of the next one at the shop, just out of curiosity?
There's
just kind of
nothing
pick it
there
up
for
and
me.
just...
There's nothing there.
There's no redemption.
There's nothing there for me.
I'll hop back on Friendless Winter, but
So for me, when it comes to DC giving opportunity for people to do different art styles or writing credits, I mean, it's not the first time they've done it. Justice League had a step-in artist for a Jeff Johns issue run. Jeff Johns run issue that he never did art ever again. DC takes risks. They're always doing experiments to see like what sticks to the wall, and they're always willing to like see what's going to happen. And I commend them for being that brave and that bold. But
Boo.
so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's bad. It's not always going to work. This guy, I just looked him up. He's also a voice actor. He obviously is a fan. I don't know, man. If I was a guy who was like, I've been in love with comics, which I am, and I also have been doing this other career that's been kind of tied to comics, I would want to kind of take the risk. That's unfortunate that it didn't stand out.
I just think if he was a fan, there would be, like, in the last issue of Williamson's run, you had the whole Flash family come back. You had Max Mercury, you had Jay Garrick, you had all these characters from Flash come back, and then he hasn't touched them. It's like, if you were really such a big fan, you would be like, holy shit, I can use all these characters. But no, I'm going to write a story about Flash having to get his Flash ring back.
I mean, is that obscene? I feel like I've actually heard of like more ridiculous stories. I mean, look at some of the Green Lantern stuff that's been out there. I mean, there's been so many bad Green Lantern stories. Sorry, like I'll be the first to say, like I love Green Lantern, but I know for a fact that there's been some.
Yeah, definitely. And like, there's been bad Flash stories before, and everything. There's been bad stories for everyone.
Yeah.
But
can I tell you what my most hated story I've ever read in my entire life is?
You may.
Final 2 issues, New 52, Red Lanterns, issues 39 and 40. Worst thing I've ever read.
That means nothing to me for the record.
What's that?
Nothing. Habs is just saying he has no fucking clue what you're talking about. So
only thing I know about the Red Lanterns is they have an evil, angry cat, and it's the most amazing thing I've ever heard of.
Dexstar.
Yeah, Dexstar.
I love Dexstar. That story actually made me cry. The backstory for him, not gonna lie. In the final 2 issues of Red Lantern,
spoilers.
Guy Gardner Guy Gardner takes over as leader of the Red Lanterns during the second half of the run, written by Charles Soule. That was actually my first introduction to him. I brought this up to him when I met him, and I actually really liked it. But he hopped off. And the last 2 issues are Guy Gardner hunting down and searching for a mysterious Red Lantern that for some reason is killing a bunch of random people, and he doesn't know where the power ring went to. But it's not the power ring, it's the power source. And it's a fucking baby!
I think our silence speaks volumes on that.
It's bad. It's trash. I was so mad because it's just the same thing as like the Shazam stuff. They're just like, we're just gonna hop off and let it take care of itself. And it's just like, why? Like, give it a proper run. Give it a proper ending. Look at what's happening with Supergirl. Same thing. It just annoys me.
Have you ever read Holy Terror? Because I guarantee that's worse. The Frank Miller book that was originally a Batman story that DC were like, we're not publishing that. Yeah.
No, I actually, you brought this up before. No, I haven't had the chance to read it yet.
It gave me a headache within 10 pages.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Miller Magic, you know.
Yeah,
that's Miller Magic, you know.
Like literally, within 10 pages, the art gave me a headache.
No, I believe it. Speaking of bad issues, I picked this up this week because I'm a really, really, really big fan of werewolves, and not good. Cover's amazing, not good.
What is that again? Werewolf by Night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on the original run that actually introduced Moon Knight, but
I was just gonna say that's the Moon Knight run.
Yeah, that's
just not good.
definitely cool.
It's unfortunate because there's a lot of representation here. It takes place on a Native American reservation, and the cast is primarily Native American, but it's just not very well written. It's one of those things where I would like for it to be good so I can continue reading it, but representation is not enough.
I think when it comes to comics, the story and the art need to carry everything. Primarily, if it's not a good story, you're not going to care about what they're trying to do or say or bring to light. Because just like you said, if it's a bad story, you don't care.
And don't get me
So-
wrong, sometimes there's just going to be happenstance where
What the fuck am I watching?
maybe-
What is this, Sean? What the fuck is this?
That is a page
That's
from
Holy
Holy
Terror.
Terror.
Oh my god, Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I mean,
I'm
I
just
expect that of Frank
scrolling
Miller.
through it. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through it now, and I can feel my headache starting.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember when he did the Green Lantern story, the little mini story in the back of the Dark Knight Returns?
That was one of the ugliest things I've ever seen.
So I don't mind his art style at this point. I kind of just expect it of him. I think that he
He did an Atom mini issue in the same series that looked really good.
Mhm.
It looked like normal artwork I'd expect to see in a normal comic nowadays. And then you go to like the next issue, it's got a Green Lantern story in it, and it was just cancer for your eyes.
This almost looks like it was done on that I'm not sure what that paper is called. And I know it's not, but it almost looks like it. But it's like that scratch off layer. Usually
yeah.
comes black and you can
Oh.
scratch
Yeah,
it off
talking
white.
Yeah, I did a
Yeah.
Batman. I drew a Batman on that. I have one.
That's almost what it kind of looks like.
That's how Sam Nee's art always looks like to me. Like, even though it's not so scratchy, it's clean. It's like digital version.
Yeah.
Of it. But like, yeah, it's like, yeah, his is like the scratch version. Yeah, it definitely looks like that. 100%.
But
I have, dude. I literally drew an Arkham because like the Arkham games were always in the black and white. They had like those nice like I drew like Catwoman and Batman doing their little love seduction on that foil paper. Cool.
You know what? All this talk about dark stuff just reminded me. I read the most recent issue of Amazing Spider-Man, and I have good news.
Oh, do
You're
share.
back on Spider-Man?
It gets better.
It's actually finally picking up. So, issue 51.
It only took
by
53
Nick Spencer.
issues.
So, don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of really good issues of Spider-Man with Nick Spencer so far. It's just this is the one that's finally starting to pick up. So you know how everyone's been talking about how they just want, Peter Parker to get back with MJ.
Mhm.
It's all I've wanted for years.
Yes, and then they finally get back together, and now they're back together, and they've been back together, right?
Sorry?
Now, backstory for everybody. If anybody's unfamiliar with this, backstory. If you are unfamiliar with anybody watching or listening, what happened years ago is Joe Quesada did a story called, was it One More Day or was it Brand New Day? That was the first one.
More day.
So what happened with that is Peter makes a deal with the devil, with MJ, so that way he can save his Aunt May, who was shot by a sniper hired by the Kingpin because his identity was revealed during Civil War. In doing the deal with the devil, he retconned him revealing himself to the world, and that comes back to haunt him finally 12, 13 years later. It's finally come back. Doctor Strange and Peter Parker meet up and they talk about what's going on. And Doctor Strange does some magic on him and says, wait a minute, did you do a deal with the... No, you couldn't have. This is ridiculous. And Spider-Man is like, wait, does he know about this? There's no way he knows about this. I'm not going to give away too much of the issue, but Black Cat has an appearance in it. So you know that there's going to be some fuckery with
Tabs is ordering it on eBay as we speak.
It's really good. Pat Gleason's still doing the art on it. It's really good. They're finally confronting this thing that people have been pissed off about with Spider-Man for years and years and years. And they're acknowledging that you can have a character that grows, much in the same way that's been going on with Batman and Superman. They're going to have some more growth, I hope, with what's going on with the Spider-Man. If this doesn't resolve with whatever's going on with Mephisto, I will write the biggest letter of anger that I've ever done.
Stay tuned, listeners. We're going to have a bonus episode in a few months. Just 2 hours of Ty ranting at Nick Spencer.
I'm not even joking. I will be so goddamn mad. I will be so fucking
We
mad. If
we might need some censorship bleeps for that one.
Yeah, we will.
Just the whole episode is just one solid beep.
And me laughing like a schoolgirl in the background as we go on like 2 minutes of just bleeps every third word.
I will let you know how it goes because I know nobody else is reading it right now, but I am cautiously optimistic that it's going to pick up and do something.
Donnie wants to move over, I'll be picking it up.
Was it 50 or 51 that revealed, like had the villain reveal? My comic shop owner I asked him about it.
I think it was 50, the one right before this.
Was it 50?
Yeah, it was previous issue.
It was the most previous one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
knew
this
one of
time
them.
monthly.
I knew one of them was going like absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's I don't know if you were here for this, Tabs. Yeah, the reveal is that it is in fact spoilers. Norman Osborn's son, Harry Osborn.
As
Yeah,
I
that's
called
right. He told
weeks
me.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
As Sean predicted with his oracle.
And I'm not even reading the book, and I saw that one coming.
Well, let's
Yeah, and I'm really
let's
mad.
be honest. Like, who else could it really
That's
be
what
at
I
this
thought.
point?
I was hoping it wasn't. I was hoping that it wasn't so blatantly obvious. I was hoping for something deeper in the Spider-Man lore, something that I would never have seen coming.
So big.
Captain
wish-
TC.
All right, I'm gonna do my little mini rant since everybody else had theirs this evening.
Go for it.
Did I get mine? Do we know? Did I get mine?
I think you've had
barcodes.
several. I think you've had
Barcodes.
several at this point.
Okay, go ahead. Onward.
No, mine's pretty tame. I just wish that with DC and especially Marvel, instead of doing their character runs for separate issues and everything, they would just pull some more from their laundry list of characters.
Yeah.
Like I'm super excited. Scream is coming back for King in Black. I'm still very salty they canceled her mini because of COVID and everything. But to bring a symbiote back from the 90s that was popular enough to essentially survive all the others before they all became hybrid, where she stood out. Why not take a character like Scream and some of the other rogue galleries and pull them in and use them instead of just recycling your A-listers and making it predictable?
Right.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's what I'm getting at.
I think that they should watch and choose carefully. You know? Like
Yeah, no, they definitely should, but at the same time, why not just look and be like, who could we use that's not like a huge A-lister, but we haven't used in a while and people might get excited for? I'm not saying, like Scream, I'm just using Scream as an example.
Yeah, I think that's a good one though.
But she's not a blockbuster, but she has a new host.
Yeah.
The original host is dead, and the symbiote came back from the dead essentially during absolute carnage.
So I'm gonna interject really quick with that, because something that they're acknowledging in the current Venom run is alternate universes, old characters that people thought were once dead. I mean, there's even an acknowledgement of Matt Gargan having had the symbiote for a little while recently. He was revealed to be the character Virus, the new introduction to that character.
Yep.
And there's supposedly, according to some of the things Donny Cates has said, there's going to be more delving into the back history. I mean, there's even the very most recent issues have been talking about his former lover who died, that had the symbiote for like a hot second. So there is deep diving with it. I would be very surprised if Scream does not come back for post King in Black.
Yeah, I know she is coming back for King in Black. And heck, Shriek is Demogoblin now. Demogoblin?
Demi-Goblin, I think.
Yeah, she's the new one. I mean, that happened in Absolute Carnage. She's no longer Shriek anymore, and that's amazing. When's the last time that you saw Demogoblin? Demo. I'm gonna keep screwing that up. I'm not apologizing for it. But seriously, like stuff like that.
I don't know.
That's my little mini rant. Like, stop doing the softball tosses and like bonk us from left field every once in a while.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that was my little mini rant.
Anything else you want to add on barcodes, Dave?
Yeah, get them off your fucking covers, jackass. You know? Fuck, dude. Jesus, you're just sullying such great art with your ugly ass fucking code. Yeah, I was just going over the solicits real quick that you sent me, Shawnee, because of course I don't have some of my own fucking things on my pull list. So, did you want to go over them, read them aloud?
Yes, we got crossover number 1 by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw, which some of us will be checking out, maybe all of us.
I'm
Tabs.
definitely picking that up.
I'm sorry, what?
Crossover number 1, are you going to check that out?
I'm not familiar with crossover. I'd have to look it up.
Explain
It's
it to him so he
Donny
knows.
Cates' new creator-owned. I think it's going to be a bit like Commanders in Crisis from a few weeks ago, where it's like a multiverse crossover, but with all not creator-owned stuff, but like he's creating all the stuff that's being crossed over in this one series.
It's kind of like explain it to him. It's literally I'm gonna rival. It's coming out at a perfect time. It is the fucking rival to Commanders in Crisis. Like, right? That's exactly what it is.
I think so. Yeah, I'm going to get a proper synopsis up.
Like, you know
Okay,
how like
that gives me
Commanders.
absolutely
I'm
nothing.
just on the website right now.
You know what I'm saying, Tabs, though? Like, Commanders in Crisis is supposed to be like this A-team that nobody's ever heard of, but we're supposed to already know. You know what I mean? Like, this is like the same idea where it's like...
I might pick it up and just
I think it
take a
might be
look at
worth
it.
it just to see if you like this number one better than you like that number one. You know what I mean? Because it's like supposed to be like
And
kind of the same
it's
concept.
Donny Cates, so it's going to be
He's
hot.
badass. He's badass as fuck.
Yeah.
And
Bro.
Jeff Shaw, who is a fantastic
Jeff Shaw.
Is this
He
a
did
3?
God Country.
Is this a 3?
It's only showing 3 right now, but I'm not sure.
But I think that's just all that's been solicited so far.
Oh, okay, I thought it might have been linked.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it just seems like it might be cool. Donny Cates is really badass, and I've only read a couple of his things so far, but everything I've ever read was just so fucked up. I was like his nature of like his storytelling is so aggressive, like it's really cool.
I'm wondering if like a Man Among Ye is going to end because they're only soliciting up to 4, and 4 is coming out next month.
I might take a break for a month, maybe.
Maybe
See when the next solicitations come out.
because it feels like there's still a lot more story to be told on that one. That would kind of suck if they just kind of ended it all of a sudden. Well, who knows? It's one of those things that one seemed like it was really hot. They did a second printing, and then who knows? Maybe like number 2 and 3 dropped off radically.
Side note: they announced or they released a Chadwick Boseman Spawn 311. Like the cover was like, it was cool. It was like him as Spawn. That was pretty
cool. Yeah, Todd McFarlane's cover.
Yeah, I got that one because I've been back into collecting Spawn, so that was pretty sweet. I'm just going through this list real quick.
Yeah, we've got the second recolored issue of The Walking Dead, which I might check out. And if you guys just want to discuss issue 2 in general.
And you're sure that... Wait. Oh, Hellblazer is this week? Yeah, Cyberpunk is this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Firepower number 5.
New Deceased is coming out.
Yeah, we've got Cyberpunk 2077, which some of you guys are reading.
There's only this issue and one more, so...
Yeah, it's a 4, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 4.
Is this Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood? What is that? A one-shot?
Jorge Fornes.
Yeah.
It's an anthology of a few different writers, a few different artists, all doing their own stories, isn't it?
It's like the Harley Quinn, Black and Red.
Okay.
That DC did. It's pretty much like that. It's Marvel's counter to that.
Yeah, cool. They're all sort of spawning from Batman Black and White, which came out.
Yes.
Early 2010s.
I'm picking up Black. You know, Black and White's coming back. In like a month or something. I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with that. I don't get it. Is it just re-releasing the same issues, or is it starting all the way back?
No, it's just
continuing.
Like short stories, new short stories. They're just doing.
Cool.
I think it's actually printing the digitals, as far as I know, or did this one just go straight to print? I thought this one was digital.
Know. That might make more sense. Tabs.
I thought Wolverine. I thought this was physical.
I thought this one was digital first. Maybe
do not
I'm
know.
wrong, because I know that the Harley Quinn one is all digital, and then there was talk
Yeah,
about
Harley Quinn's
bringing
digital.
that to a trade potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, Harley Quinn is all digital, which is annoying because I really want that first issue by Cedric because that was really good.
Yeah, I
And the
gotta pick it.
second one was Merca.
Yeah, and there was a Sean Murphy White Knight one in there as well.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I heard it was really stacked.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, the Harleen one was really good.
I am
Poison
so
Ivy in it.
mad at DC for axing that universe. I will, like, honestly,
It
I
wasn't
will
DC.
never.
It was Cedric's health reasons that stopped it.
Yeah, he said it multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna blame DC.
Yeah, fuck you, DC. Pieces. Yeah.
No, that looks
Get your
so good.
barcodes
Oh
off
my
the
god.
fucking cover.
We've got Justice League number 56. We've got Batman number 102. We've got 2 issues of X for Swords, DC's Dead Planet. We've got the final issue of Young Justice.
Dude, I'm shrinking. My reading list will be shrinking soon as things come to conclude.
We've got the second issue of Hellblazer Rise and Fall by Tom Taylor.
Getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be cool. We've got issue 2 of Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 5 of That Texas Blood by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, which I believe is the end of this arc. Spy Island number 3. I still need to read issue 2. Then we've got a few things that we might not cover, but we'll see what we've got time for. We've got Tales from the Dark Multiverse Hush with the same writer of The Last God. We've got Black Widow number 3, which I think me and Tabs are picking up.
Yes. Is that
we got-
Oh, yes, it is. Okay, is this week?
Yeah. We've got Sweet Tooth: The Return, which I haven't read Sweet Tooth, but anyone else?
No, because
I'm
I
going
gotta
to
read
power
the
read
first.
it so I
I
can
gotta
catch up.
read the fucking first shit. So no.
Yeah. There's a new Power Ranger series starting called Mighty Morphin number 1.
Meh.
I might check it out.
Cool.
I think
and-
think if I have to choose between the Power Rangers and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I feel like I would have to choose between the two. You can't be reading both those stories. It'd be ridiculous. You can't. My nerd levels. My nerd levels would just be way too high. I think I'm gonna pick the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You'd regain your virginity from reading both at the same time.
Yes, it would actually be like, whoa, my kid would just fade out of existence. Be like, you go, fuck, that's crazy.
It's like Back to the Future where the pictures they're just fading out the pictures.
Like, Chit, no. I looked.
We've got a new Boom series called Origins that's starting next week that I think me and Craven said we were going to check out. And then me and Dave and I think you, Ty, as well, we're going to read Dark Knight Returns and discuss that.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, of course.
4 issues.
Yeah.
The 4 issues. Not. I have the whole absolute. But 4 issues. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're not going near Dark Knight Strikes Again.
All right.
We're not touching that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Okay.
I gotta wait until January for King in Black.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No.
Because
It's coming out in December,
they're
but the
blowing
January is when issues 2, 3, 4, 5 are coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got one more month.
I'm all on board for that one.
Dude, me too.
Every single issue.
Of
You're
course,
a
it's going to
nut.
fill my inner edgelord.
You're a nut.
All 40-something issues.
You madman.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, you guys want to sign off? Say goodbye.
Yeah, let's do it.
See. Let's see. See here. Let's see. Ty, you want to tell them where they can find you?
Yeah, for sure. You can find me on Twitter. It's going to be talking about comics, talking with no G, about with no A, and comics with an X.
Very nice. Let's see. Shawnee boy, you want to tell them where they can find you?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Sean.Welsh747. But I'm going back into lockdown on Wednesday, so there'll be no interesting stuff going on my Insta stories.
Yeah, he'll just be reposting the web's trash. You know, finest of the web's trash.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of memes
Him
going
on the
up.
toilet.
And then Tabs.
No, that's on my OnlyFans.
You want? Oh, geez. Rare. Do you want to tell them where they can find you?
Yeah, just follow the name badge. Follow Shulky over to Twitter at Tabris172015.
Nice. Oh yeah. Wait. Who's Shulky?
She-Hulk.
Oh, She-Hulky. Okay, I thought you were saying for you guys ever
Shulky.
hear? You guys ever know for like Discord Wampus? Have you ever heard of like Wampus or any of this
Womp
shit?
womp.
Yeah, dude. So like Discord's whack. All right, that's like a whole nother conversation. Then
No,
never mind.
Shulky, the Jade Giantess.
Yeah, well, I thought you were talking about like Wampus. If you click the link and then
Nope.
Wampus will send you over to Skiddly Womp and he'll get you dude or flubed or whatever he says. Nice. Yeah, it's like this. It's funny. Like if you send like Discord like a question, like, dude, Discord isn't working on my end. What do I do? They'll be like, gee, Willikers, man, the rainbow dust might have not have made it over to your airwaves yet. We'll send Skiddlywinks over there to give you a Gambino. You know, you're like, what the fuck? That didn't answer my question. You know, so like, yeah, Discord's whack. But
And remember, kids, drugs are bad. Okay.
yeah, really.
Don't get your nose pierced while drunk.
Yes,
That's your own damn fault.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Come on. Don't be.
All right.
I was 10 drinks in on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely to blame.
That's super your fault. You're at a pub and you can't get some of that good pub food.
You irresponsible young.
It was the bar,
young
not
man.
a pub.
I'm going to interject because I have to violently urinate. So we should wrap this up. So I can violently.
You can find me at
Yes.
Fleece Fist on Instagram and Twitch where I play music. So get at me. All right. Cool. Thank you for stopping by. For now, ta-ta. Bye, y'all.